now with the Forerunner Chronicles, and right now we're in downtown Toronto on Yonge and Davenport, and as you can see, I'm in front of a Masonic temple, but that's not all it is. Check this out. That's right, as you can see, this Masonic temple is actually MTV Studio. MTV Studios actually bought this Masonic temple to shoot programming in there. And this is just additional information to help you understand everything that we've been talking about in the videos, how they actually try to tap into this occult power so that they can influence our minds with this media. That's what's going on right here behind us at this MTV Studio building, which is nothing more than a Masonic temple. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. This thing is simple.
When they do the symbol, because a lot of in the media, I don't know if they're still doing that today in the land of the living, but I know what I experienced when I went down there. They call themselves the elites, and what it means is the elites of like the satanic kingdom, and they do this thing with all-seeing eye. As you notice, you know, in the past I had that all-seeing eye too, because I had to become one of them in order to come back and expose them, you see. So this wickedness, and for a while they try to keep me silent, but I'm like, wait a minute, you know, Satan's a liar, because he just wants me to be silent, because if we keep living in today's world, the land of the living, and there's no justice anywhere, like where's the God of justice, right? It's because I kept silent all these years, but I'm not going to keep silent no more. But what goes on down there in Hollywood, I don't know if it's still going on today, because I don't want to accuse nobody, but what I saw, you know, I pray that everybody out there repents, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You know, and they have lots of sex, child trafficking rings, and they even have their own churches, but they're very satanic churches, and they do abominations. You know, they sodomize each other. I'm not going to get into details because it's so traumatizing to what I saw and experienced down there. But you know, the more power you have, the more fame you get, the more depraved things you have to do. So I don't know if they still do that today, like I said, but God our Father knows, God in heaven knows, the cloud of witnesses knows. So I pray, Heavenly Father, that if these things still go on out there, all over the world, all these elites, whatever they're trying to do like this, to be quiet, you know, that you will bring exposure to them and bring swift justice to the children's lives that were sacrificed, the children that are molested, because they often, you know, they were even like molesting 3-year-olds, and then they're asking me like, can we go even like lower, meaning like, can we have with a baby? And it was just so disgusting, guys. This is why I'm so traumatized, because like, oh, I can't believe, you know, it's very traumatizing. I can't even talk about it because it's so nasty. But you know, in the Illuminati world, Hollywood, if you're still doing that today, I pray that Lord Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father, that you apprehend these criminals and bring them to justice, the ones who sacrifice babies, rape children, even in the government realm, the government officials, you know. But I don't know about the land of the living, but I'm going to have to testify anyways, because this is what I saw. It's like this huge, massive, worldwide elites. They call themselves, and they molest children, they, you know, sacrifice. It's just nasty, guys. I can't even... But anyways, I gotta testify this so that there's truth and justice to be had in the land.
Megan
Yes,
Fox
drink
is
each
a
other's blood
demon.
might mislead people, or like people are imagining us with like goblets and we're like Game of Thrones drinking each other's blood. It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled, where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you. It doesn't not happen, let me tell you. Maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times.
I love babies. Oh yeah, they love sucking puppies. I mean, I do too though, because I have an iron deficiency, so it just takes Like, I mean, you guys like the taste of blood? Do you? Does anyone here like the taste of blood? Because I like it. I like the taste of blood.
You tell us the secret about Steven Spielberg. He eats babies. Whole babies.
And that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves.
My brother Jay-Z, Team Rock, Adam Blackstone, Hell's Kitchen, and most high.
Good evening, godless sodomites. Kneel before your God, Babylon! Making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says the Babylonian Court. The camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. Outside the Kodak Theater, you have the gates to Ishtar, and you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gates. They have the exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates.
People come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus.
I'm thankful to the Oscar gods.
The other names in the world are all gods as far as the category goes.
When you hit this little golden statue, you become a star. In the Egyptian culture, they also had a little statue that represented the god Ptah. And see, when an Egyptian king died, it was believed that his spirit went into the belt of Orion, and he then became a star. Up until 1999, the Oscars was held at a building called the Shrine, which was founded by William Florence and Walter Fleming, two high-ranking Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood has long been interested in Freemasonry. Gene Autry, John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, C.C. DeMille, Clark Gable, Walt Disney, Oliver Hardy, you name it, the list goes on. Many celebrities have come out and admitted their connection to Freemasonry. You can see the checkered floor, you can see the archways, you can see the sun motif in the background. All of these are letting you know exactly who owns this organization.
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight, the babies we eat.
You get every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Roman Pharaoh. He's coming for it. He's coming for it. Talking of all you, it was a big year. I'll do this. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. Fifth time, and it's still more fun than this. Okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, the obviously didn't tell. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. I'm meant to present my star in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like Working Class Harvey Weinstein. You did it! I didn't, you did it!
Served, so they were always trying to call for pizzas, and you can't order a pizza plate.
How was the pizza? Was it good? You make pizza was better than food. Everybody made it for a certain kind of thing.
There's no pizza we didn't want. Something
back at his house, watch a movie, and he'd order a load of pizzas, you know.
Gerald Ford is not a pedophile per se. He's what I refer to as trisexual. He'll try anything. Any age, anybody, anytime, anywhere, just as long as he had control. Because he had a perversion of power, in addition to his interest in mind control. Therefore, it was Gerald Ford who came out to our house and explained to my father how to raise me in the project according to government specifications. My father had been caught sending this child pornography through the U.S. mails, and therefore he was approached and told that if he sold me into that project, that he would gain immunity from prosecution. My father remains free from prosecution to date for so-called reasons of national security. Once my father agreed to sell me into the project, I was taken routinely to Mackinac Island, Michigan, which is a political retreat where the Michigan governor's mansion is located. It was a bohemian grove of sorts where politicians met and discussed New World Order controls, where they discussed mind control of the masses, mind control in the school systems, how to use occultism as a trauma base. One of my sexual abusers at that time was the Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau is a professed Jesuit. Now, the Jesuits are an intelligence arm of the Catholic Church. Pierre Trudeau represented this criminal faction of the Catholic Church, of the Jesuits, who believed in mind control of the masses because they wanted to be the one world church in the New World Order.
Sure. We happen to have someone who sent us Monica Lewinsky's poem that she wrote in 9th grade. Actually, not in 9th grade, when she was a 9-year-old. And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but can I maybe just give it a sample? Yeah, give a sample. Okay. It was written, the poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast, if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of toppings. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, yum. It's amazing how kids know at a young age what they're going to do with that.
Christ did not die for Lucifer. He did not cover Lucifer. And there's a hatred for the offspring, enmity with God. There's a hatred that our sons and daughters could choose Jesus and be adopted back to the table which Lucifer once sat at.
All right, all right, all right. Matthew McConaughey. I'm not Matthew McConaughey. Okay, man. Let's get into some streaming. It's not going to be a chill night. It's going to be chill for right now because I'm going to take a minute because, like, holy shit. Some crazy shit. And I just found some crazy shit. Let me fix my audio. I can hear the baby goats out there. Is that right? Is this the right one? Oh, I gotta turn that on too. I'm losing it, man. I decided I didn't want to use the television. I wanted to use the earbuds. Let's not interrupt my microphone audio, and I still don't have a game pulled up. Probably gonna be Terraria again. But before I get into Terraria, actually get into it, I'm gonna open it actually. But before I actually play, while I'm doing commentary videos, I'm gonna talk about Gothic. Because I just played the Gothic 1 remake earlier on stream. I got some things to say about it, man. This needs to go here. Seems that I chose the correct audio. Okay. So this is gonna be real quick. Let me go ahead and pull in. So this is gonna be real quick. I just played Gothic 1, the remake demo. And yeah, oh boy, have I got some things to say about it. But let's watch this. What is it? What, there. What year is this again? Gothic remake demo, Madman 3 minutes review. And this is from 11 months ago, whenever the demo actually dropped. They have reworked a few things, but I watched this already, and what he says still stands, even though they reworked the combat and some other stuff. So let's check it out.
Welcome to Gothic Remake Demo 3-minute Madman Impressions. Before we start, I have to notify viewers that I didn't play the original 2001
I did not either.
Gothic was made by Piranha Bytes, a studio whose games I can't stand. By far the worst.
Let's do another take of that. Alright, let's back it up a little bit. I'm going to give a little bit of a different take. Because I forgot to hit record. So, I just played the Gothic 1 remake demo. And I did not have a great time. I got some things to say about it. We have this... What is it? What is it again? RPG Division. What year is this again? Gothic remake demo, Madman 3-minute review.
Welcome to Gothic Remake Demo 3-minute Madman Impressions. Before we start, I have to notify viewers that I didn't play the original 2001
I didn't either.
Gothic. Gothic was made by Piranha Bytes, a studio whose games I can't stand. By far the worst 3D RPG gameplay I've had the displeasure to experience in games.
I don't know what other games Piranha Bytes have made, so...
Games such as Risen. Jank was legendary in a bad way. For
I don't
every
like
new Piranha
Jank.
Bytes game, it was set in stone that gameplay is going to be bad.
Jank is alright in certain games, like Fallout New Vegas. It's alright. I don't like the jank in Fallout New Vegas, but the other systems in that game kind of make it okay. It makes it tolerable.
Unlike the writing and atmosphere, which was solid to good in almost every one of their games. Obviously, I was quite interested to play an improved Gothic, considering this is a remake and not a remaster. Different studio is in charge of the remake, so I expected them to retain the original good stuff from Gothic and improve subpar gameplay of Piranha Bytes. Trailer looked promising as well. Unfortunately, combat sucks again.
They reworked it.
Janky, animations are subpar.
I think that the reworked combat is alright, but it's still... I don't know. It feels like it's not very good, but maybe it'll get better over time as you play it, because it kind of seems like it's one of those games where you zero to hero type game, you know? But the demo didn't really pull me into those systems. It didn't really give you enough time. It just kind of introduced you to the world and the way everything looks. The loot didn't do anything in the demo. You literally didn't have to fight anything. You can run through it and just go talk to the dude, get the letter, go to the end. And that was pretty much it.
Poise works and then doesn't without any particular reason. Tracking on attacks is very high, which makes dodge less useful. I do like that we have 4 different attacks, but in order to make heavy type combat with 4 different...
The way the control scheme's set up, the dodge and the dash/roll mechanic, it didn't really feel well, because it's like, when you got the WASD going on, you know, you got WASD, right? You got your fingers like this. And when you have to go down to Alt and Control with your thumb and your finger, your hand's doing this. And it does not feel good. Right? I mean, I guess you could change around the controls, but it's still... There's not really a good way. They should have just changed it. And also, it feels like a 2001 game. And sure, it's a Gothic 1 game, but you have to keep in mind, this is a remake. They didn't just like remaster it, slap another skin on it. This is a full-blown remake, and I guarantee you it's going to be full price.
Basic attacks work. Small details like poise, hitboxes, movement animations, chaining attacks, enemy and player reaction animation need to be really nailed down to the smallest of details. Well, it isn't. I like that there is blood and there are 4 different attacks.
It's still not really there. That combat's still not there. The hitting is good. The getting hit, not so good. It just doesn't feel good.
Attack types. That's it. Everything else feels like it's 2001 while playing. Some might say, well, it's that original jank that has its appeal. Personally, anyone saying jank is positive in any manner, I'd put in an asylum. But what's so much...
I say it all the time too. I just make your game better. We're in 2026. How do we have games that did this game better? Like, over a decade ago, man. 2 decades ago. From what I'm hearing, just play the original Gothic. That's the way I feel with a lot of remakes, though.
My likes is subjective. Objectively, though, jank is never good. Ever. I'm hoping that this demo is some sort of an alpha version. If it is, then alright, it has potential but needs tons more work.
It seems like it's the same demo that they've had for like 6 years that people were getting behind the scenes. And they didn't really change much. They reworked some systems and then they've reworked some systems since then. But it's still basically the same trailer or the same demo that's been around for so long. I don't think so, man. I don't know about it. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people saying that the criticism for this game is just hate, which I'm seeing in a lot of games, man. All criticism is just labeled as hate. And it's fucking disgusting. I'm sick of it. I'm just gonna say what I want about video games. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. If everybody else says this game is a 9 out of 10, I don't give a fuck. I didn't have a great time with it. Maybe it's just not for me. I don't know, but apparently it's not for a lot of people who play RPGs.
Work. Demo story is the prologue of the full game, some kind of a penal colony where our character Nihilus needs to pull himself by the bootstraps to survive. NPCs are right assholes, and I love it. Everyone has a very distinct persona and...
I did enjoy the NPCs. The NPCs were pretty good. The character in the demo, the main character, was the worst character. I didn't like him. He was ugly. A lot of the other characters were ugly in a good way. But the main character was ugly in a bad way. And I really liked the Mexican dude.
and they let Nihilus know where his place is as a new arrival. I miss this.
Oh, a huge complaint that I have. They keep talking about like how your name doesn't matter. Nobody needs to know your name. And immediately right after I hear that multiple times, a dude is like, "Oh, my name is the Fred. What's your name?" And I say, "Nihilus." And I'm like, "Well, what the fuck?" So that didn't mean anything. So people do care about your name. No, actually they don't. It's just bad writing because the main character in the actual game is the nameless hero.
It's old school, raw, harsh, and non-apologetic writing. There is also a power struggle inside the colony that is going to be interesting to see how it develops and how we can affect it. What interests me for the full game is continuation of the character progression, because the demo makes Nihilus quite unable to deal with anything yet, which makes sense. NPCs are putting him down in dialogue, he dies from 2 shots, wears rags.
Oh yeah, I forgot I didn't like that character, the way he looked either. I like the character, I just didn't like his face. I didn't like the way he looks.
The weapon like someone that doesn't have much fighting experience. Proper sensible progression that doesn't go straight from can't kill anything to defeating dragons would be really good in a game like this. Then even the smallest bit of progression feels highly rewarding. Regarding character progression, I haven't seen anything yet, so can't comment. Only have a few stats available with one perk obtained from one of the miners, so there's not much to go on. One thing that I didn't particularly like is that Nihilus goes straight into stealing everything he can, while mentioning at the same time how he can't lie in another person's bed because they would kill him.
That's another thing.
But stealing
Did that
has
too.
no consequences. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that stealing is not going to have consequences. I think that's just going to be a thing that they're going to allow.
We'll see if there is going to be any punishment system. Overall, interesting story and lore, well-written NPCs with good voice acting, and bad gameplay is what Gothic Remake demo is. I really hope they don't launch in the next few months, cause it's not ready. Not with this combat.
I don't think it's ever going to actually be ready. I don't think this is going to be as good as it could or should be.
Patreon subscribes are merch in the description if you're interested, and thanks for watching.
Cool. That guy's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and give him a like and a subscribe. You should definitely do that. If you're watching the video version of this, I got a link down there in the description if you want to go do that. What is this one? Oh yeah. I want to get into this first, because this is crazy. I need to subscribe to this guy.
I am a licensed pharmacist in 4 states.
Yeah, he's a licensed pharmacist. Okay. So this guy is a licensed pharmacist in 4 states, investigates animal med scam. And this is crazy, dude.
I am a licensed pharmacist in 4 states, and beyond these doors, I'm going to dispel a scam that blurs the line between animal and human medication. This is something that shocked me as a pharmacist, and I came here to get an animal medicine, and I'll show you why. Right here, this is diphenhydramine. It's a 25 milligram tablet. You get 100 of them for $10. Now let's compare this to the human version. For the second part, we have to go to a human pharmacy and get some. Right here is what we want. So this is diphenhydramine 25 milligram tablets. You get 365 tablets here, and it's $7.27. The reason why I became skeptical of these products is right here.
That's nearly half the price and over triple the amount.
The inactive ingredients. You can see the pupper version on the bottom that's made for dogs, and the human version on top that's made for humans. Again, same active ingredient. Now, do you notice anything about the inactive ingredients? Yeah, they're identical.
How about that?
Yep, nice and bright and pink. And this is the human version. Yep, take a look at the human version. They're the exact same pill.
Bro, is the entire United States just a scam? I think so. All right, this is an absolutely insane situation. I heard a little bit about it. but I didn't actually check it out. So, cop finds murder video on 11-year-old's Instagram. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a like from the EWU body cam. I think Donut Operator reacts to this channel a lot. Explore with us.
Just bump in, bruh.
Like, you like bumping?
Yeah, just bump it.
Somebody hit him.
Hey, brother, you doing okay?
No, he ain't okay.
In the early
He is
morning
not
hours
okay.
of May 29th, 2024, a cyclist is murdered in a brutal hit and run.
That's
With no
not good.
leads, the case goes cold until a shocking video of the incident surfaces on Instagram, posted by an 11-year-old child. What it reveals leaves investigators in shock, forcing them to confront some of the youngest violent offenders ever encountered.
Look where I hit her. Her whole face went boom.
The
That's
following
fucked
is
up.
based on official police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. It's around 4:40 a.m. when Albuquerque, New Mexico dispatchers receive a 911 call from a woman on her way to work.
911 emergency.
Hi, I'm headed to work and someone got hit on a bicycle. It's a lady. She's on the side of the road.
Did a vehicle hit her?
I'm not too sure.
A
I just
lady?
kind of was coming southbound. I was going to work and I saw the bike.
I thought it was a dude. I could be wrong, but I thought this story was about a dude.
It's in the middle of the road and she's on the side of the road.
Is she moving at all?
No, I don't know. She's kind of facing the other way. I don't know if she's okay. She looks like she would be okay because she's kind of like curled up a little bit. I just really don't want to like get out and look at her though, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand. Does the bike look like it got damaged?
Yeah, the bike is mangled. Like it's pretty twisted up.
Though the caller first described the victim as female, police arrived
Oh,
to find
okay.
an older male lying in the street, and it's clear his injuries are severe.
You guys see what happened? No, I passed you there first. She just came. And I saw the bike.
Hey, brother, you doing okay?
No, he ain't okay. He ain't okay. They got cameras right there. So
He's bleeding pretty good out of his head.
I'm gonna go try and block up that side of the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I passed through there about 10 minutes ago, and then she came, and then he came.
Okay, so you didn't see what happened though, man? You just kind of saw them?
I was the bike in the road. So look, you got that right there. Okay. So whoever did this, and that's how I knew somebody was here, because I was like,
Yeah, like the bike kind of laying there with
yeah, and then I hope he make it, man.
Yeah.
So none of you guys actually saw what happened? You just drove up.
I'm pretty sure the dude did not make it. Spoiler alert.
Subject's unconscious. He's breathing but not responding. Thank God he had this helmet on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure still he doesn't make it.
He's breathing, but he doesn't respond really well.
An employee badge found in the male's belongings identifies him as 63-year-old Scott Habermel, who is urgently rushed to the hospital for life-saving treatments. Meanwhile, officers began surveying the scene in an attempt to piece together what may have happened.
I think it might have happened over here because I saw the shoes behind that guy that stopped. His shoes up over there. Jesus, man, he must have got nailed. God damn, man.
Dude, the way that guy's talking about this is so calm, and that sucks, man. Like, not shitting on the officer in any way, but like, he's probably seen so much shit.
No.
I mean, these bikes aren't made to take impacts before.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's throwing his shoes that far? Yeah, like this one's back over here. I don't know where. I mean, there's like this tread mark, but that doesn't look new. It's like this one kind of. So it almost looks like he could have gotten like T-boned it, just clipped the
Yep, just another day at the office.
back and just threw him because it's just a weird. Just the way it happened is looks really weird.
Where that back tire broke, I bet he got rear-ended. Oh, forgot that.
I mean, it broke like the entire rim. Well, I think it's just plastic though. Oh, that's metal. That's straight up
these,
metal.
these bikes are made to be so light.
Yeah.
Such light.
Oh, yeah, that's just straight up.
That's a nice bike, dude. I think that guy might have like been an actual bike rider, not just a dude that was riding a bike. I think he might have been like professional or maybe even amateur, but still, he was a bike rider.
Police note the bicycle was equipped with 2 rear-facing flashing
Yeah,
red lights
of
and
course
2
it would be.
forward-facing lights. Scott would have been visible despite it being dark outside. As they continue to comb the streets, they find more scattered evidence.
Yeah, there's a little bit right here. I wonder if it happened maybe more back here and just flung him. 'Cause I mean,
Yeah, they got to figure out where it came from, where it happened, so they can figure out which direction the car came from.
there's like a hat right here. I don't know, man. Because I'm wondering if it happened back here then.
There's no footage anywhere.
Oh, but depends on how fast he was going in the car. It could just been like, you know, the kinetic energy just taking both of them. So there's other chunks of the helmet.
So what does an 11-year-old boy have to do with this? I'm not really getting it. I saw a picture of the 11-year-old boy. I don't understand what that has to do with this. Was their 11-year-old boy behind the wheel that hit him and recorded it on Instagram?
Helmet kind of by Andrew's car. Piece of the visor and then a little chunk like in the middle of the intersection right there. So I'm wondering if he kind of got hit like at that intersection or in that area.
There's a chunk of his helmet over here.
Damn.
Officers begin searching for local surveillance cameras that might give much-needed answers. One such camera is pointed directly at the intersection, but when they knock on the homeowner's door, they receive no response. It's a disappointing setback, but a later call to the Albuquerque Police Department sheds new light on the situation.
Police Department Operator 4187, how can I help you?
Yes, this morning I reported a hit and run on a bicyclist, and I actually have some more information. I was able to pull some video footage from the church that I
Fucking W. That lady deserves a medal.
work at, and we actually saw him getting hit, but it's a little grainy, but it might be helpful.
Scott's bicycle light flashes between the trees just as the bright headlights of an approaching vehicle begin to close in. While it's difficult to see, the sound of the impact is unmistakable.
Damn.
Additional cameras capture the car speeding through the neighborhood, but the footage is too grainy to make out a license plate or even identify the make or model. At 7:25 a.m., just hours after the incident, a suspicious vehicle was found abandoned half a mile from the crime scene. One window is shattered, the ignition is visibly damaged, and the car, a silver Hyundai sedan, had been reported stolen. Damage to the
Hyundai sedan. I guarantee there's a fucked up key ignition. I guarantee it.
The exterior was found to be consistent with crashing into an unfixed object. Officers at the scene speak with the homeowner whose cameras face the intersection. He confirms they weren't recording.
He was unconscious when we got here, but I mean, he was wearing a helmet. So if he lives, it's going to be because of that. He was still bleeding pretty good, but hopefully.
Unfortunately, the injuries were fatal. 63-year-old Scott Habermel sustained a skull fracture as well as multiple facial fractures, and the cause of death was listed as multiple blunt force injuries, and the manner of death was ruled an accident. Scott was a physicist with a PhD, and investigators learned he was on his way to work when the tragedy struck. With no witnesses to the crash itself, grainy footage, and no solid leads, Scott's case is closed on September.
Yeah, you can really just go at any time, man. It could just happen any time.
September 24th, 2024, pending new leads. It isn't until 9 months later, in February of 2025, that an anonymous tip reignites the case and changes everything. The tip leads investigators to an Instagram account where a video of the fatal crash was uploaded, filmed from inside the stolen car. In
Why
a
is it
shocking
always
discovery,
Instagram?
The account is owned by an 11-year-old child named Messiah.
All right, man, pull up.
As investigators begin diving into his account,
His name's Messiah. His name's Messiah. This kid's parents. Where are they? Also, are they retarded? They're probably just as criminal, if not more criminal, than this kid.
They find videos documenting a variety of crimes, from
Of course they
pranks
did.
targeting fast food workers.
What the
to a
fuck?
variety of thefts, including one.
I know some kids, or knew some kids whenever I was like 13, 11, that would do some shit like that. You know where they're at now? Either dead or in prison.
Video showing Messiah stealing a Ring camera from a resident.
Or in some trap house somewhere. Legit, actually. One of them's dead. One of them's in prison. One of them is probably at a trap house somewhere. Just a straight up... Why do you think that's a good idea? Yeah, see that.
But these videos barely scratch
What did he say?
the surface of the
Kia
these
boys.
videos barely
Kia boys. We're still doing that shit. Are you serious? Does that kid know? Does he know that it's not cool? Obviously not.
scratch the surface of the deeply disturbing material.
That's just so
they would
lame.
uncover.
I got that Glocky.
You haven't been when me and the car was
Yo, they're literally on fire.
Dude, we just got free pizza. That's awesome.
Yo, we smoked tequila. Oh, you want a shot at it? Do it again! Do it again! Do it again!
Messiah's Instagram records also contain screenshots of multiple people reporting the thefts, with one complaining about the lack of intervention from police. In the video depicting Scott's fatal crash, 11-year-old Messiah can be seen in the front passenger seat, waving a gun. Two others appear as the camera shifts. 15-year-old William...
Yeah, I think arrest these kids' parents, too. Don't just arrest the kids, because, like, who are raising these people, man? It's insane. How does this keep going on? Who are raising these kids? Probably the government. Because their parents are probably always in and out of jail, and they're just, like, being traded off from person to person, grandparent to uncle, and they just collect the check, and that's what they're in it for. That is probably it, man. And just let them free roam. It's like a PvP server.
William Will Garcia and 13-year-old Jonathan Johnny Overbay. The video, which will later be revealed, is deeply disturbing and sends investigators to visit Scott's wife Jamie to deliver an update on her husband's case.
You guys are going to have some questions. Hey, was this an intentional act against
and he married?
Who Scott was? It was a ruthless, cold act. I'm very sorry to all of you that we have to meet under these circumstances, but we're going to get to the bottom of this.
I just assumed from the get-go they would never find this person. And I didn't know if they were, what level of effort was being put forth to do it. And I really honestly, just like you said, I wasn't sure I wanted them to find the person, because for my personal benefit, it does attach a face to all of this. And I can't imagine anybody doing this to anybody.
Our goal is to put an end to this. And that's what we're going to do.
Over the course of 3 days, from March 17th through March 19th, all three boys were found and questioned. The video revealed that 11-year-old Messiah was in the front passenger seat at the time of the crash. They arrived fully armed at the home of his Uncle Michael, where Messiah lives. After performing a safety sweep of the house, Michael expresses frustration that the officers entered his home.
We did a safety sweep.
Yeah.
Nobody was inside. You walked in there and you opened the doors. Make sure nobody else. That's an adult right there.
Look, man, this ain't a courthouse. You can argue this in a court. We're cops. We're not lawyers.
I know that, but what I'm saying is,
it doesn't matter.
Adult right there. If he's
Yeah, pretty much. Cops are allowed to do whatever they want until you get to court. I mean, they're not allowed to do what they want, but in the moment, they're allowed to do whatever they want. They could be found wrong in court, but like, in a situation like this, it really doesn't fucking matter. You're just gonna have to just let it happen, fight it in court. That's what you gotta do anyway. Fight it in court.
Bring that up with your lawyer. Bring that up with the lawyer.
I've been a cop 3 years now, dude, and I know when you start arguing about why, there's something not.
Police investigated a crime spree in the summer of 2024 involving an 11-year-old suspected of car theft, burglary, and a shooting, which Messiah took responsibility for in a discovered text message. He also saved several news articles outlining the charges filed against the 11-year-old suspect. Police at the time were not aware of the connection to Scott's death, and in their press release stated, "We are lucky someone wasn't killed." At the police station,
Wow.
Messiah is given drinks and snacks before detectives begin reading him his Miranda warnings. Meanwhile, back at the house, officers informed Michael that they had obtained a search warrant for the property.
So we're looking for cell phones. We're looking for any guns. Do you have any guns inside the house?
Yeah.
You do have some guns?
Yeah.
Okay, where are those guns at?
One gun in my room.
In your room? Mm-hmm. Should there be any guns in besides yours?
No.
Go.
There's no gun. There's no car that killed the guy. No bike thieves, no souvenirs. So just search it.
While his uncle may not have been aware, Messiah's phone records suggest a concerning pattern involving illegal firearms, including a message in which he admitted stealing a gun at a party, and others discussing plans.
How is he just allowed to go to parties? I don't get it.
To rob gun stores. Back in the interrogation room, Messiah
He's
is asked
11.
if he wants to speak with detectives now that he's been made aware of his rights. He agrees to answer questions, but asks that they call his uncle first.
You think this kid's going to college? you think he's going to get a good job after high school?
Hello, is this Michael Hayes? Hello, Michael. My name is Amia Baker, and I'm with the Albuquerque Police Department. We're here talking with Messiah right now, and he asked that we get you on the phone while we talk with him. Are you okay with that?
I think I need to be in person. His mother advised him not to say anything until he has no visitation.
Do you want to come here and talk?
It's kind of late. I'm being detained at my house right now.
Investigators inform Michael that he's free to leave while the search warrant continues at his house, but he still doesn't agree to come in.
Hello, Leslie Barber. I'm doing pretty all right. How are you doing? Don't sell me anything because I ain't buying.
Messiah wants to talk to you.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on?
Nothing.
So, right now, I called your lawyer. If you talk to a lawyer, he's going to come and represent you, but I don't know what's their procedures of how long they're going to keep you.
Okay.
Okay? He said he's representing you. There's not much I can say. If they want to talk to you with me here, I want your lawyer here as well. So you're going to have to set it up for in the morning. So they should be bringing you back home. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
What's your position? What's your position? What's your position?
He's asking what your position is, what you want. To go home? I'm
They
tired.
should bring you home. They should bring you home soon, okay? They do not know you'll be home soon.
Once Michael is off the phone, they ask Messiah once more if he wants to answer questions.
I'm just bored. Yeah. And I thought, guys, like, if I said, if I were to answer no questions, you guys would just leave and then have no company.
So, okay, I see what you're saying. You're bored and you kind of want company, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the conversation that we do want to have with you is related to the crime in which you're being accused of participating. Okay?
We're definitely not saying you have to talk to us, it's your choice, but we just can't hang in here and just keep you company either. Does that make sense? Okay. So, having your rights in mind, do you want to talk to us right now?
By the way, they totally could. I don't know why they don't just like, hey, this sucks. Can I just have a friend here? Like, I understand certain situations, but with an 11-year-old, and if you're watching them, I mean, I don't get it. I think it's just like a bureaucratic system just to be a dick.
No. It's gonna help my case. I just hope.
I know the kid's actually guilty, but like, this is guilty until proven innocent right here. When they're like, nope, we're gonna treat you the worst imaginable. Even though you haven't been found guilty in the court of law yet.
Okay, sorry. Well, it's good talking with you. I, everything Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Take care of yourself, okay?
The second occupant, 15-year-old William Will Garcia, voluntarily surrenders to police at a public meeting place. When officers arrive to arrest him, his best friend, 15-year-old Elijah Eli Engelking, is with him. Will's Instagram records were also obtained by police, with several shocking discoveries among them, including many of Will and Eli together.
Why?
Like Messiah's account, Will's is filled with references to gang violence and include videos of teens with fire.
I guess he was like, well, I might as well come along and turn myself in too, because I'm fucked.
Arms.
Ready? Yeah.
Ready, BB?
Eli tells detectives he wasn't with Will that night, but shares what Will explained to him about his involvement.
He was just in the backseat and they were pointing a gun at him and stuff and telling him to record. And that was really what was happening. And he was just trying to...
Dude, I hate it whenever people talk like this. I fucking hate it, man. I know a couple people who talk like this. I'm just like, dude, you just speak up.
Really just trying to scare him. They're trying to scare the biker, Will said. And Johnny took it to another level and he bombed him in the back. He sped up and he killed the guy.
While Eli insists this is all the information he has, detectives will later learn that he knows a lot more than he's letting on. For now, they meet with Will's parents briefly before they head to the police station to interrogate the 15-year-old.
Do you guys want to talk to us? Like, just the parents, do you guys want to talk to us and have a conversation?
I might want to.
Okay, so for me, I could say I don't have anything to say other than thank you for what you do. And I've instructed my son not to talk at all until his attorney is present, which should be in the next couple of days, you know.
At the police station, Will sits with investigators, who are hopeful they can obtain more details about the incident.
So, William, you know that...
This kid's vibe just gives off degenerate retard. He looks like the degenerate retards that I used to hang out with.
You are under arrest.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is we're going to start off by reading you your Miranda rights and making sure that you understand those. And then we can go from there, okay? So do you understand your rights?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. And would you like to talk with us?
I would like a lawyer on this thing.
Okay. All right.
Despite exercising his right to silence, Will is still under arrest. They briefly allow him to call his parents before taking him to the holding cell.
Didn't expect that, did he?
I just wanted to talk to you. Just to... I don't know. What do you mean?
I'm outside of where you're at now.
Oh. Well, yeah, you probably won't see me, though.
No. So, you just told him you wanted an attorney, right?
Yeah.
But just know that I'm here, okay?
Okay.
I love you, son.
I love you too, Mom.
Hi, son.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, I love you, okay?
I love you too, Dad.
Keep your chin up, we're right behind you, even though you're not talking to us, we're thinking of you planning, okay? We're meeting with the attorney in the morning, okay?
Okay.
They locate the suspected driver, 13-year-old Johnny, at the Juvenile Probation Center, where he's attending an appointment with his mother. Jonathan is currently on probation.
13-year-old Johnny on probation, out just able to hang out with his friends. How about that?
For an unrelated case.
Hello.
Hello. Are you negative 26? Hello. Are you on blue on the highway?
Hi, buddy. I'm Officer Benavides, all right? Can you just stand up for us? Grab that pin. What? Thank you.
Is that the right Jonathan? He has an uncle.
Yes, it is, okay?
What?
Where's your...
For what?
Do you have a phone on you? No.
For what?
Detective will, they'll explain everything, okay? You can go talk to some detectives, okay?
So, I just want to make it easier because you're gonna go with us. You're gonna be able to go with us.
Okay, am I gonna be able to hug him and love on him?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So he has a warrant for his arrest. We gotta take him downtown and he's gonna get interviewed by a detective unit.
Is he going to jail?
Yes, he is.
Oh my
Damn.
gosh.
John
Got him.
receives a quick pat down outside of the room before they begin to escort him to a waiting police cruiser.
What'd you do? Oh my God, John, no! Seems real concerned.
Okay, just come to this car over here, okay?
No. For what? No. I didn't do nothing.
Come on.
You didn't do nothing.
Oh, this is stupid.
Nothing. You're stupid.
All right, as of right now, okay, you're going to jail for, or you're going to go talk to somebody, but you're under arrest for your warrant, okay? Don't try to do anything stupid, okay? I don't know what exactly it's for. They just told us you had a warrant to come pick you up, okay? I'll give you air. Just cooperate, and we'll go from there, okay?
All right.
An officer follows his mom as she retrieves his phone from their car, where Johnny's aunt begins to question what's happening.
You're going to jail? I don't know. What? I don't know, dude.
What do you mean for what?
Is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
For what? You shouldn't have
how do we turn
anything
this?
on there, so, huh? Oh,
He
that's you
shouldn't.
calling.
But I bet he does.
They have to, or they're going to seize my car.
But when officers don't reveal the details of the warrant, tensions rise with Johnny's aunt.
But you guys know it's a warrant.
Yes.
But you guys should know if you're arrested.
It's not our job to know. It's not our
Yeah,
job
it
at all.
is.
It's our job to know that there's a warrant. No.
That makes sense.
You don't agree with it? Do you call the
It
judge?
don't make sense though.
I get you're upset. He's going to jail. It happens.
No,
okay?
it's in reality.
It is reality. You're right. He is
Yeah,
going
you're
to jail.
going to jail for a warrant that we don't know what it's for.
You don't have to know.
His mom arrives separately at the police station, where she's about to see exactly why they placed her son under arrest. Her instructions to Johnny reveal that someone gave her information about his warrant, though it's unclear who did.
It's up to you if you want to answer questions or anything like that, but honestly, just wait. And then we'll talk to the lawyer about it or something, because they're trying to get you to murder.
Okay.
Love you. Sorry. But I'm sorry that they're going to take you to jail.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
how long you're going to be there, but I'm going to
Should be.
Okay.
As they wait,
This dumb bitch. This is completely and utterly her fault. Yeah, the kid's a degenerate, but why was he able to just hang out? He's on probation. I never got this shit whenever I was a kid, and I knew kids that were on probation, and they were still, like, I was hanging out with kids that were on probation, who were, like, still doing the things that they were on probation for. And I was just, and they just always would get in trouble. I knew this kid got in trouble over and over and over again. It was like constant drug tests, and he'd still pop. He'd still pop dirty. Like, come on, man.
for the interview to start, Johnny's mother fills him in on what she knows.
Yeah, he said that somebody got hit on a bicycle and Messiah was driving and he was in the car.
Despite what she told Johnny, the video she's about to see clearly shows that Messiah was in the front passenger seat.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of step forward on that since you were kind of talking about this. I'm not making any questions or making any requests of you, but I'm just going to let you know about what we have. There's no question about what we have. You're going to have to watch this. Sorry.
I did like glitch. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody got hit and then they
Fucking hate that shit, man.
What? And then I guess, I don't know if somebody said you were there or what.
You need to tackle it. That's what they're trying to get me for.
I don't see it.
That's why you don't see me.
Dang, it's just stopped. Thank God, because I didn't want to see that. If it's what, oh my gosh.
She's downloading it so that it doesn't have to rely on the bad connection. So it will still, you guys will still watch it.
Well, I got nothing to worry about because I wasn't there.
And he said, he's sorry that if he would have known, he didn't really know. He said it was like kind of last minute and it just popped up. He said sorry because he wished that he could have warned you or told you more before he did that.
After downloading the video, the detective attempts to play it for Johnny and his mother one more time.
It just sucks not knowing too, you know, but
Okay, here you go.
oh my gosh.
Here you go. You wanna watch this first?
My phone is like,
Oh boy.
there we go.
Oh, you see him up there.
Just bump it, bro. Yeah, just bump it. Go like 15, 20.
I think it's so much. Can we watch it again?
No.
Another video recovered from Messiah's Instagram records show the teen's callous reaction to the blood on the car's hood.
Look where I hit her.
Still thinking it's a
Her whole
woman.
face went boom.
The detective lets Jonathan's mom know he'll be taking his phone, explaining that it'll allow them to triangulate his location during the time of the incident.
They have a DNA warrant, fingerprint warrant for him because we have evidence from the
Yo,
vehicle
that's
where he
fucked.
was during this time. So that was just a statement just to let you go because I could hear you were kind of talking about it, so you're not like sideswiped.
Because we were sideswiped and we're like, what is going on? Because he's been out of jail. He was in jail for a long time. And then he got out and he's been doing everything he needs to do. And
so there was...
He was in jail. And you were just letting him hang out with degenerate friends. Apparently, overnight. What the fuck were you thinking? Like, this lady, she needs to go to jail too, in my opinion.
Vehicles involved and they have evidence from them. So once those DNAs, they'll be cross-examining his DNA and prints to the stuff collected from those vehicles.
Curious about his current probation, detectives ask for more details.
he had broken into a school or something. And he's been doing restitution and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, this will, unfortunately, that's going to violate that. So.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay. I wish that I could have made you hot pot tonight. I was gonna make enchiladas. I love you. You need a shower. I'm sorry. Are you gonna be okay?
Well, there's nothing else I can do.
An officer enters the room to take Johnny to his holding cell, leaving his mother in an emotional state.
Does he have to go right away?
Yeah, we'll let you say bye and then
I love you, baby.
Well, there you go. Ain't gonna be seeing your son for a little while because you're a fucking retard.
I'm here for you. Just remember everything that happened last time you went in.
I don't even really blame the kid.
Everything and don't let nobody bully you, but don't get in trouble, okay? Be nice, be cool. I'll need to find your glasses. Yeah. That's good. Sorry. Love you.
All right, they said you could be in there without cuffs, okay? So we'll keep it that way as long as you stay cool, okay?
Love you.
Before entering his cell, Johnny is allowed one last goodbye hug with his mom.
I don't know why.
Be strong, okay? Best friend. Love you. Kiss. Best friend.
Arrest warrants were obtained for Jonathan and William, and a search warrant was executed for Messiah. DNA and fingerprints were collected from all three boys for comparison with evidence recovered from the stolen car. On March 21, 2025, Crime Stoppers received a shocking tip from a teacher who revealed that a fourth teen was present in the vehicle at the time of the murder. The tipster recognized the voice saying, "Bump him," as their student, none other than Will's best friend, 15-year-old Elijah Eli Engelking, who had previously denied any involvement when questioned by investigators.
Just bump him, bruh.
Like, you like bump him?
Yeah, just bump him. Go like 15, 20.
Investigators would later receive information from a third party, stating that Will's own brother shared that
15-20. That's enough to absolutely destroy somebody. You could destroy somebody going 8.
His parents knew Elijah was in the vehicle, but were waiting to disclose the information in the hopes of gaining leniency for Will. 15-year-old Elijah Engelking was indicted by a grand jury on June 11, 2025 on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and knowingly leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. He entered a plea of not guilty and is currently being held without bond until his trial. Following his interview, 13-year-old Jonathan Overbay was taken to the Juvenile Detention Center and later charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, leaving the scene of an accident involving great bodily harm or death, and unlawful carrying of a handgun by a person under the age of 19. According to the Bernalillo County District Attorney's Facebook page, he later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, receiving the maximum juvenile sentence permitted under New Mexico law. He will remain in a juvenile facility until he reaches the age of 21. 15-year-old William Garcia was charged with...
Why? Why juvenile until 21? That's not juvenile. You're an adult at 18. What the fuck are we doing?
First-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Per our conversation,
where you're not legally an adult until you're 30, and you're barely even that.
With the district attorney's office, his case has been transferred to adult court. As for Messiah, the 11-year-old was fed McDonald's and slept on a cot overnight in the interrogation room, as the Children's Youth and Family Services Department had no beds available for the night. He was taken into custody of CYFD the following morning. A recent Facebook post from the Bernalillo County District Attorney's Office announced that a now 12-year-old has been charged with an open count of murder in connection with the death of Scott Habermel. We contacted the 2nd Judicial District Attorney's Office to confirm whether this individual is Messiah.
Yep. Well, there goes that kid's life. It was already gone, pretty much.
But we're
he had
told
no
they
chance.
cannot provide additional details at this time. If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, you'll find extra footage and unseen details on our Patreon. Channel memberships here on YouTube also include early access to select new videos.
Hell yeah. That sucks. That whole situation sucks. I'm glad that all those kids are gonna be getting time. Holy shit, man. Alright, what else we got here? I think I already watched the iDubbbz video. I think that's just Tectone reacting to the same video I reacted to. I saw this. This is crazy. Yep. They're trying to age verify our computers. They're trying to age verify all of our computers. Windows, Linux. As soon as you try and install that operating system, it wants age verification. Well, at least that's what the elites want. It hasn't gone through yet. We'll see. I think this is happening in Colorado. For now, it's going to spread like wildfire. Pun intended. Fuck Colorado.
Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to age verify our operating systems now. You might be like, whoa, that's crazy, Muta. What do you mean age verify an operating system? How does that even make sense? Today, ladies and gentlemen, in the episode of Some Ordinary Gamers and Man Screams of the Clouds, or whatever you want to call me, I am about to read some of the most insanely stupid legal jargon written by a politician. I hate politicians, okay? I would rather, I shit you not, I swear, it is the month of Ramadan right now. I swear on everything holy, I would rather be waterboarded, okay? I would rather be waterboarded in Guantanamo Bay every single day for a year of my life than listen to a politician yap in my ear for 5 fucking minutes, okay?
True.
They are that horrible. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen.
If a politician even tried to talk to me in a political way, I'd probably just crash out. I'd immediately to start screaming at them. Not the way a leftist would. I'd scream at them the way a redneck would. And that's the worst kind, man. You don't want to be screamed at by a redneck with a voice like this.
Gentlemen, okay, this is not that rant. Age attestation on computing devices, okay? This is a bill that is being brought in, obviously, for children and domestic matters.
Of course.
Now, who brings this bill? Matt Ball.
They always do it for the children. And it's never for the children.
and Amy Paschal, okay? Two Democrats over here who, ladies and gentlemen, clearly, I don't know if they understand how computers work, but
They don't care.
actually it is going to become very evident when we read this bill, okay? This bill
They want any kind of control, any way they can get it, anywhere they can get it, even if they don't understand. It doesn't matter. They just want to control it.
requires an operating system provider to provide an
Actually, the fact that they don't know anything about it means they do have to control it even more.
accessible interface at account setup that requires an account holder to indicate the birth date or age of the user of that device, to provide a signal regarding the user's age bracket to applications available in a covered store. So to give you an idea, okay, just a quick understanding, most modern operating systems, and I'm including cell phones in this as well, you typically are centralized. And what I mean by that is, you know, when you make a Windows account, for the most part, they pretty much hound you to make an online Microsoft account when you're setting up a new Windows installation. Now, yes, there are ways to make a local account for now. Generally,
Literally, the only reason I even have a Microsoft account is because of Minecraft. I'm a huge Minecraft fan, so I gotta have that Minecraft.
Microsoft wants you to connect through their servers when you're setting up your own computer, which is insane in my opinion, but that's the world we've gotten to. When you buy a MacBook, you're very incentivized to make an iCloud account. Now, I believe you can make a local Mac account and totally skip the online pleasantries, but a lot of these companies kind of like goad you into that, okay? They like, make the online account, okay? Now, obviously, for cell phones, Apple, kind of the same thing. When you buy an iPhone, they kind of goad you into that iCloud. And when you buy a Google phone, they kind of goad you into that Google thing. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to this rule, and some of those exceptions are so simple that you can go to Google, for instance, buy one of these Pixel phones, right? I don't know
Yes.
if this is the exact one, but you can buy some
I haven't done what he's about to talk about yet, but I am definitely going to look into it very, very soon.
of these Pixel phones, and they're good phones from what I hear, but if you don't
They're
want
pretty
Google's
good.
spying on you,
I pretty much only get Pixel phones, but I wish that I would just actually not be so lazy and switch it over to Graphene.
then you can just go install Graphene OS through your actual web browser. It is so easy that you plug your phone into your computer
Yep,
through a
pretty
USB
easy.
port, basically literally follow the instructions on the screen right now, and you can install Graphene OS privacy focused onto your Android device, right?
It's not that easy, actually.
So again, this is one of the pathways we can take to avoid and circumvent stupid bills like this, which is one of the reasons why I said this is some of the stupidest forms of legislation. They are trying to legislate something that is unlegislatable, okay? The lion does not care about the bullshit laws you pass, okay? Anyways, so to give you
I'll just install a cracked operating system. How are you gonna force that on Linux? When people are out there making their own distros, like, are you just gonna make it illegal to make distros? Which, that's not gonna stop it.
you an idea, provide an application developer that requests an age signal. So basically when you set up an account, they're going to make it so that you can put in a birthday, right? Now, again, I don't know if it's as simple as
birthday.
put in the birth date, because if it's that simple, we are back to the early 2000s where accessing an adult website, typically, you know, when they were like, are you an adult or not? Yeah? Pfft, come on in, pal. No, if that's what we're at, then this is a pointless law.
Yeah,
but anyways,
it's fucking
provides
stupid.
an application developer
And what kid is gonna be installing an operating system anyway?
that requests an age signal with respect to a particular user, the technical ability to
The kids that would be installing operating systems, by the way, are gonna probably figure out how to bypass the whole age verification thing. Because they're smarter than the average children.
call an age signal
That would have been me.
via a reasonably consistent real-time API that identifies, at minimum, the user's age bracket data. and then they send only the minimum amount of information necessary to comply with the bill. An OS provider shall not share an H signal with a third party for a purpose not required by bill. So the last bullet point sounds like, whoa, they must have plugged up all the fucking holes, huh, Muda? Oh, this is a slam dunk. Not necessarily, guys. Look down over here. The bill requires a developer to request an H signal with respect to a particular user from an OS provider or a covered application store when the developer's application is downloaded and launched. The developer then receives an H signal, is deemed to have knowledge of the age range of the user to whom the H signal pertains across all platforms of the application and points of access to the application.
That's a bunch of confusing bullshit.
The important part, okay, and inside all of this, if a developer has clear and convincing information that a user's age is different than the age indicated by the signal, the developer shall use that information as the primary indicator. So immediately we went beyond, hey, just give us your age, to use other factors. Now, what are those other factors? I don't know.
AI.
If I'm typing 6'7" to my buddies in Discord and the OS is monitoring that,
they're gonna literally legislate that you have to use AI for these systems. And they're gonna make everybody do it, or they're gonna try and make everybody do it.
is it going to assume that I'm a fucking child? Or is it going to think, oh, this is an adult with a fucking absolute immature sense of humor at 2 in the morning while they're playing Phasmophobia together, okay? I don't know. It's a set of ones and zeros. It's not human. It can't logically think, okay? That is the unfortunate situation. So again, the developer shall not request more information from an OS or a covered application store than is necessary to reply. But again, the operating...
Who deems how much is necessary?
System should also, again, according to this bill, understand if there's other signals, you're probably, if you're underage and you lied about your age, it's up to the OS to basically make sure they're sending the right info. Effectively, they said that the bill does have civil penalties, so no more than $2,500 for each minor affected by a negligent violation, and no more than $7,500 for each minor affected by intentional violation. So again, none of these bills.
So what, it's illegal for children to install operating systems? No way. No way. That... What? Did I hear that correct? Let me, I'm gonna have to get another take of that.
For each minor affected by intentional violation. So, again, $1,500 by have civil penalties, so no more than $2,500 for each minor affected by a negligent violation, and no more than $7,500 for each minor affected by intentional violation. So again, none of these bills are actually passed yet. Yet is the key word. But the other thing is, they're also bills that aren't going to target you yet. Because again, if you lie about your age, they're targeting mostly Apple, Microsoft, and Google in this. And again, you can read these bills even further for yourself too. Again, this is a full thing that you can read. It's not terribly long. It's like 9 pages. And again, the actual shit is going to happen mostly for existing devices by July 1st, 2028. They have to provide an interface that allows you to give your actual age. Now again, this is solely unenforceable, and the reason why this is happening is because companies like Meta, for instance, at least in Canada, are trying...
What's the reason? If it's unenforceable, what's the reason? There's always something going on behind the scenes. There's always a reason. There's always something that this leads to, and they're not telling us, and they use, it's for the kids, as the guys.
Trying to lobby the government into saying, hey guys, don't put the blame on us, put the blame on the operating systems, the application stores out there, right? So what they basically mean by that is, instead of going to things like Instagram, for instance, right? Typically, if you were on an iPhone, In order to access Instagram.com or the Instagram service, you download the Instagram application. Now, Apple does do age attestation, so meaning that if you do download applications where they want to know your age, sometimes they'll give you a little pop-up that says, hey, do you want us to send them very minimal information to just tell them that you're an adult? Because Apple should, in theory, know you're an adult because, at least in my case, I do pay them like $1 a month for extra iCloud for my family, so they should.
Yeah, but what if you're a retarded adult who lets their child use their phone? We can't be having that. We can't be having adults let children use their phones. So we have to know. We have to be able to know when it's an adult or a child using a specific phone. That's where we're going.
Should be able to know that
You're not good enough to parent your children.
am a legal adult, right?
Which is probably
And they
true.
can basically attest.
But who
for me.
decides?
Now, this is not a universal thing whatsoever, but to give you an idea, what Meta wants is instead of them being responsible, basically they're saying, let Apple be the ones responsible. So if Apple is basically distributing Instagram, they're the ones that have to make it so that they're the ones that decide if you're an adult or not before the application even downloads. And the same would go for Google and for Microsoft. If you're using the Microsoft Store, say,
That's
for example,
retarded.
to download applications. Now, these kind of laws are really stupid because ultimately they are unenforceable, okay? They're unenforceable for a lot of reasons, right? For one, I feel like the politicians that write this garbage don't actually use computers. Okay, they probably have only ever used like an iPhone or something, and they thought, wow, this must be really easy. Make it on the App Store. Dog, how are you going to enforce this on Windows, okay, where people can go to the internet, for instance, right? Like if I wanted to download anything from like, you know, the internet, like if I wanted to get 7-zip, I could just go to their website, download the exe file.
The people who make laws like this are the same people. They're like Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's afraid of screens.
For my Windows system.
Tucker Carlson's afraid of screens, and he's a newscaster. How about that? Talking about social media and what goes on in the news, he's afraid of screens.
And just install it. Here's something really scary. You can go to places like GitHub and download open source projects and just install whatever you want on your system. Even Macintoshes that are designed to be so locked down just to protect the average user. You can download whatever you want there. How are you going to handle things like Linux, for instance? How are you going to push age attestation on operating systems that are massive global open source projects?
How are you gonna, even if you could, how are you gonna get containers? How are you gonna get virtual machines? You're not. It's not happening.
Like if you go to kernel.org, Linux is a project that anybody can grab from here and fork and basically, you know, make their own Linux distribution, right? There's so many different distributions that exist. You can go to Arch Linux, okay? You can just go here. You can download this and actually install and run your own Linux within minutes. You can actually install Ubuntu if you wanted, one of the most like used and accessible versions of Linux out there. You can get Jubuntu if you're somebody of that faith. You can get Halal OS if you wanted. You can get Azure Linux, which is Microsoft's own internal Linux. You can get Gentoo Linux if you really hate yourself. You can get Fedora Linux. You can get CachyOS, which is what I use. I mean, how the fuck are you going to enforce things like Rebecca Black OS at this point, all right? This is the stupidity
Montana
of
Temple.
these like organizations.
You ain't
They
doing
don't
it.
understand that you can't govern an operating system. The reason why this law could make sense is if you wanted to go after something like Microsoft, right? Remember, Microsoft, Windows, it's a closed American-based company. And even if you were to pass this law in Colorado, for instance, that's their jurisdictional limit, right? Would Microsoft even so much as contend with this outside of the state of Colorado? But again, Microsoft, because they're centralized, because you have to make a Microsoft account, or at least that's the direction they're going to use Windows, they are going to be the arbiters on, you know, who is a child, who is an adult, right? And whatever metrics they grab from your computer that, you know, can correct you if you enter a wrong date, that's something I really want to see in the future as this
They're
kind
gonna
of
charge you.
bullshit law is being thrown in. You've got Apple, who runs, you know, Macintosh. They're the ones that are obviously going to be targeted by this. They have to contend with this. But how would you go after Linux? How would you go after distributable like Android operating systems that people sideload onto their phones anyways. It's so unenforceable, it's not even funny, okay? And that's not even including just Linux. How would you enforce things like FreeBSD, which is a different type of Unix operating system? Again, these people don't understand what they're trying to do. Politicians are fucking brain damaged to the point that they don't even understand the technology
They're evil.
they are trying to govern. They're passing
They don't even
laws.
care.
And here's what I think. Again, this is a conspiracy theory that I guess people can, like, you know, hound me for, but I really think that this is pushed by a lot of the big tech firms. I think this is pushed by a lot of the mass surveillance in our country, in the world, that, you know, people want as a way to
I also
sort
think
of
this.
invoke this and make it normalized, you know?
Yeah, it's 1000% what it is. It's leading to something. This isn't like definitive. They think this is going to do it. This is leading up to something. Just more and more tracking. You know, they want to know exactly who everybody is, what they're doing, where they are, who they're around, who they talk to, what their opinions are.
Attestation and age verification is never to protect children. It's to open a new wave of regulated technologies that are designed to monitor and control what you can and cannot do on the devices you purchase. That's my personal belief, okay? I don't think these bills are introduced with the intention of protecting the children. And when you see how stupid they are, okay, all you can do is just laugh. They're unenforceable pieces of garbage that you wouldn't even waste time wiping your ass with. But again, this is not just Colorado, okay? I wouldn't make this video if it wasn't just Colorado. California, which is one of the most influential states in the US, has introduced bills like Assembly Bill 1043, which, if we actually read it, talks about age verification in regards to the operating system. So again, beginning January 1st, 2027, basically age verification with respect to software applications and operating system provider will provide an accessible interface at the account setup. So when you're making your Microsoft account, your iCloud account, your whatever account, will require an account holder to indicate birth date, age, or both of the user of that device for the purpose of providing a signal regarding the user's age bracket. Now again, if these companies are not grabbing everything else alongside you, like a driver's license or anything, if all they do is ask you for your age, like your birth date, this is the most pointless law to be passed. Everyone's gonna fucking lie about their age. So obviously they're going to be looking for other...
I'm gonna lie about my age. I'm just gonna start telling everybody I'm 99 years old whenever they ask for age verification. Fuck them.
There are signals that signal your age, right? And what are those signals? What is that monitoring? I wish these people were more transparent with it. Now,
They're
again,
not gonna
these
be.
laws, you can read them all you want, but they basically don't...
They want to treat everybody as if they're 10 years old, but they also want to sexualize the children. It's so weird. Like, they have no morals. Their only morals are control. They just want to control everything. They don't give a fuck if they fuck it up. They just want to control it.
The problem with it, again, like I said, it's unenforceable trash, okay? You cannot enforce this garbage on the average person. That's the problem. These politicians are introducing age verification into our OSs. They're actually targeting the operating system level. We are moving from, you know, first it was like, hey, if you want to go to a website like Pornhub.com, you have to provide your ID, okay? Now it's like, hey, if you want to actually use this application on your phone, provide your ID. Hey, if you want to actually, you know, use your, if you want to use your operating system in an adult manner, you got to provide some level of ID or verification. You know, how would they even enforce this on things like Linux? Like, is the terminal going to come up and is it going to say sudo user mod AG? Is it going to be like grown-ups? Is that the groups? Is it the grown-ups group? Is it going to throw me in there? Again, it's unenforceable trash. But the thing is, it should worry you because they want to push this onto the operating system. And again, if these pass nationwide, internationally, it just becomes normalized, right? When big areas start passing it. This is how it happens.
And people can be mad about it. People will be mad about it for about a decade. And then the children that were raised in it, they're not really going to care. It's normal. It's been normalized. That's how they get you.
happens. It doesn't start from like a blanket pass everywhere. It starts in California, then in Colorado, then in places like Texas, then in places like Florida, then in provinces like Ontario, countries like the United Kingdom, and then it becomes a global fucking epidemic. Remember, Discord age verified the entire world. They're pushing for age verification globally. Even though it's not a law.
They were pushing for that age verification, and then they immediately got hacked, and then they were like, actually, we're gonna go harder. Okay.
Globally, they just decided to do that. And now these politicians want to force companies, especially ones that run our operating systems, the deepest levels of our systems, running age verification bloat on top. This is not okay. And again, if there was ever a bigger like commercial to go self-hosting, to start using Linux or something and take back ownership of the stuff that you purchase, this is probably the wake-up call, okay? To me, as a Linux user, I laugh at this dog shit. Because I know from a technical level, it's so unenforceable. But to see these politicians throw this shit out there is worrying, regardless of the fact of how funny it is and how unenforceable this trash.
I just realized that my logos are gone. What the fuck? Why are my logos gone?
Is. So yeah, they want to age verify our operating systems. Wild day, man. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it.
I didn't like what I saw, man. I didn't like it. But I'm gonna like the video, because it was a good video. But fuck you, man. Fuck Colorado. Fuck politicians. I hate it. I hate this verification shit. Needs to all die. Alright, what's next? I don't care about Iranian viewer. That's crazy. But I don't want to watch another body cam video. Strange horror. Switching to open source alternatives worth it? It is for me, man. I love it. I love the open source alternatives. I haven't really found a good alternative for Discord, but I'd like one. Age verification getting out of hand. Yeah, you're telling me, man. Here, you know, I'm gonna turn that back on. Ooh. Yep, that's the one. Some crazy stuff just went down in Mexico, man. That's insane if you've heard about it. Like, bro, it's even worse than you think. I've looked into it a little bit, not just seeing what's on the videos. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to the point where, like, I kind of don't know what to think about it. And I'll get into it a little bit, but it has to do with some past remarks from Mexico when it came to Trump talking about the cartels. So let's just get right into this shit, man.
Mexico falls into chaos as a cartel takes over large parts of Jalisco, including a potential of American hostages, as tourists first reported fires all across.
That would be a huge mistake if they take American hostages, because we'll get them. We don't negotiate. There's a reason most countries that are like war-torn, crazy countries, terrorist countries, they don't mess with Americans. If you kidnap an American, they usually tell them, you better let them the fuck go, because they're gonna come after your ass. They don't care if you kill the civilian. You kill the civilian, they're still coming after you.
Across the city.
Well, this one just started here. There's some fires over there on the 200 apparently. Not sure what's going on.
Seen from popular hotels in Puerto Vallarta.
I can see the flames underneath that black smoke. Huge plumes everywhere. Another big one over there. Another one directly behind this resort we're staying at.
As Canadian tourists are stranded on the top of their hotel. where even their Costco was under attack. As the
No,
cartels
not
are setting
Costco!
vehicles on fire.
These monsters!
And claims on social media say a prison was set ablaze as inmates have escaped, with the cartels carjacking random travelers to set their vehicles on fire. Even
Remember when Mexico was like, okay, first, remember when Trump was like, we're gonna go into Mexico, and we're gonna take out the cartels, and Mexico was like, oh no, you ain't, you're threatening us, because actually the cartels are Mexico, because the cartels work directly with the Mexican government. Well, you see where that gets you? Also, I'm pretty sure the president of Mexico is a Jew. Like, you know, a Jew in that powerful of a position probably has some connections to Israel. I haven't looked into it that far.
even attacking gas stations to do the same. Shutting down roads by leaving buses ablaze.
Yep. There's a name for that. The cartel loves to do that. They like the cartels. People like to act like it's just one. There's multiple cartels when you say the cartel. But yeah, they like to set up roadblocks by setting vehicles on fire. Or just using fire in general. Usually vehicles.
Even stopping semis to also set them on fire. And even scooters still inside stores are getting torched as well. Now the local police have responded, but sadly, several of them are already deceased. Now their National Guard has arrived.
Wonder how they're doing. Probably
and are actually
not
going
well.
to war with the cartels right in the streets. As it really looks like there's a civil war going on in Mexico, and sadly, civilians.
It's at least just in that one city. There's a civil. I don't know if I'd call it a civil war. I definitely call it a skirmish, a battle of sorts.
Are getting caught in the middle, where even hospitals don't know whether to evacuate or to shelter in place.
By the way, that is what a civil war will be like. It'll be civilians that are like wondering, they might be on one side or the other, but it doesn't matter when there's explosions and gunfire going off around you. Suddenly, you're not on either side, you're a civilian.
But as some people attempt to escape, the airports are getting shut down as well, as some scramble to get inside. Everywhere looks like pure chaos.
Doesn't just look like pure chaos, it is pure chaos.
Corre, 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 corre.
Where some travelers are sheltering in place.
Algo está pasando. Todo el mundo está corriendo.
It appears employees were trying to escape.
Esto es lo que estamos viviendo. Es horrible.
And you can't blame anyone for not knowing where to go when the carnage is part of the cartel's plan and it's absolutely working. Where some hotel guests describe the confusion.
Here on the beach, the tiki bar is being cleared out. All of these things are being cleared out. It's being roped off right now. They're asking that everybody vacate the area and leave immediately. You can see the smoke. I don't know if you can, the smoke in the sky.
We were just walking on the beach and we saw...
Dude, that place is absolutely beautiful. That sucks so much that these people's vacations got ruined. I bet they spent so much money to be there too. But I guess they're gonna have memories that are gonna last for a lifetime.
smoke everywhere, and we're being informed that there's major cartel violence happening. A top-ranking cartel member, and when that happens, all-out war happens. A number of cars have been set on fire, motorcycles set on fire. In fact, there were some attendees of Anarchapulco who were in a taxi cab. They had their car shot at, the taxi driver was murdered, and the car was set on fire. All of their luggage has been burnt, including their clothes and passports, in fact. So it's a pretty...
I bet it's going to be real cheap to travel to Mexico for vacation right after this. I watched a video the other day where a guy was like, I usually wait until after terrorist attacks to travel to countries because the tickets are cheaper and there's less people. How about that?
Pretty scary, dire situation right now. We're being told do not go out at all. In fact, the entire airport may be shut down right now because of this cartel violence. I mean, we heard Trump mentioning a while back that he's going to go after the cartel in Mexico.
Yep.
Is this the beginning of that? Are we witnessing it live? I don't know, but...
While others seem very...
I'm pretty sure Trump is not the one who took out that person. I'm pretty sure it was the Mexican army. Let me check real quick. I'm gonna check to see if it was the Mexican army or if it was Trump. Okay. What was that person's name? Let's go. Mexico News. Okay. Mexico News. What was that guy's name? El Mencho. Okay. Who killed El Mencho? Who killed El Mencho? Mexican security forces, including the Mexican Army and National Guard. Okay. So it was not Trump. It might have had something to do with Trump. He might have, like, told them to do it or something. I don't know. But it was Mexico themselves who did it.
Very casual about the events.
Oh, jeez. Let's go. Follow me. Just follow me. It can't explode anymore. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Oh, how about that? Oh,
this isn't nice.
Nope, not at all.
Run for the hills. But listen,
why do they have to be so mean?
So, I think we're okay.
That mean cartel. Oh, man. Oh, if I could just show them a piece of my mind.
Let's see. I wish I can get a cup of coffee.
I need a drink.
I don't
even drink that much.
I need a cup of coffee. You need a drink. Oh my God, self-centered to the extreme. The world, everything's exploding. Oh, and there's a little lady sweeping up the leaves. You know, nothing ever changes.
And I don't know if that's smart, or it's the shock, or if you're seeing the locals casually standing around, you should feel somewhat safe to go grab a coffee. Because at this point, basically everything reported is a rumor. As some say the cartels are about to enter homes and hotels if their demands are not met.
They will.
With the US Embassy also addressing the situation, stating due to ongoing security operations, related roadblocks, and criminal activity, US citizens should shelter in place. But the situation...
This is what you get for trying to false flag us with aliens and go to war with Iran.
Appears to be getting minimal news coverage.
Not talking about Mexico, I'm talking about the United States that I am in right now. Because it's trying to go to war with Iran to use a false flag UFOs are real story. And then fucking chaos in Mexico, the place that we're trying to change right under us, our neighbors. How about that? How ironic.
With the local outlets reporting on the massive attacks, stating the cartel's leader, who had a bounty of $10 million US, has been taken out by their local federal forces, with 6 others being detained as counterattacks occur statewide, where Puerto Vallarta authorities are urging everybody to stay indoors. Public transit is suspended and businesses are asked to close, with all flights into Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara are being diverted. Scary to think US citizens
For now.
could be captured in this, but sadly that's a known risk when traveling to a country that's largely controlled by the cartels, with rumors that these resorts or two owned by those same gangs, and even residents speculating their president is as well. But hopefully this all gets resolved in the near
think
future.
so, probably.
I just wonder what the
It won't be.
American implications.
It'll probably calm down for a little bit, but it's going to get worse. If nothing's done about the cartels and like criminal organizations running a country, they always get worse.
Might be, as our borders have been a hot button issue for the last decade, and this is yet another reminder of why border security should be such a priority. But in the scary event that US citizens become collateral damage in Mexico's unrest, does that mean our military must get involved? And after what happened in Venezuela, what's about to happen in Iran, I really don't want another hot conflict to occur. But what do you think? If US citizens are on...
I think that helping out Mexico is probably way more important than helping out Iran right now. I don't know what's making me think that. It's probably the fact that they're our neighbors, and also I know a lot of Mexican people that love Mexico. I mean, they're like Americans. They don't hang the Mexican flag, but they do go to Mexico sometimes.
Involved should our military as well, or is this something we shouldn't concern ourselves with as long as it stays on that side of the border? I genuinely want to know what everybody thinks.
It won't stay on that side of the border because, unfortunately, Democrats opened up the border and brought a bunch of them over to this side. So it's like the people are connected to what's happening over there. And I know this from personal experience because one of my friends, actually a couple of my friends, got involved in the cartel, went to prison, and became a Mexican gang member. Like a real Mexican gang member.
And eagerly await what that channel, Task and Purpose, has to say about this. So if you appreciate my concise, sometimes lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy.
Yeah, it was a good video. I'm gonna slap a like on it. I got it down there in the description. You should probably go watch it and slap a like on it yourself. Yeah, Mexico's cooked, man. And it's probably gonna bleed over into the United States. I hope it doesn't. I hope we actually help them out and do something about it. And rather than doing nothing and just going to war with Iran, that'd fucking suck. All right, what we got up next? Scandal of the decade. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. At Trump's face, I don't know about it, man.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a
Hello.
channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course,
That's what
here's
you
the
do.
meme of the day brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, it's another one of those moments where everything's kind of put into perspective. I think it comes as a surprise to no one. The Democrats have essentially got their greedy, greasy palms on pretty much everything. Everything that used to be neutral or sacred, the Democrats have grabbed and essentially warped to their benefit. It's called politicization. And the one place where this has happened,
It's called Satanism. That's what Satan does too.
and arguably the most, are in America's institutions of justice, of course across law enforcement agencies, local and federal, but where it's really been most impactful and probably most prevalent has been across the judiciary. Democrats and their little activists pretending to be judges have essentially destroyed the legitimacy of the courts. And we've been saying this for a very long time, but today we get to put it into very clear perspective. You get to see just how truly bad, how truly dark it is. I guess let's take a peek into the darkness and see what we can see. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I think probably the most appropriate way to start this is by saying, holy crap, the depth of politicization and left-wing activist infiltration that's been injected into the judiciary by the left. It's truly staggering.
And nothing's being done about it. And it's been getting worse. and it's only going to get worse. That's what happens whenever bad things happen and nothing gets done about it. They always get worse because the bad people that are doing the bad things realize nobody's doing anything about it. So let's see how far we can push it until somebody starts doing something about it. And then we can go to war or distract everybody and it won't even matter.
Take a look at this scandal that just dropped. The DOJ has now terminated an activist immigration judge by the name of Vivian Gordon Uruakpa. She's a New York judge who was identified for her exceptionally high rate of granting asylum claims, ruling in favor of seekers at a whopping 97% of the time, making her one of the most...
She's got good statistics. She approves so many people because she just attracts good people in. Or she's just saying yes to everything, except for, like, you know, some stuff that she doesn't like. Or he, I don't know.
Most lenient judges in the state. I think there's a different word than lenient. Well, maybe words, it's called corrupt career activist. But yeah, you heard that right. 97%. In what world does that make sense to you? Obviously, it appears she was running a sort of rubber stamp factory. Clearly not a court of law. Just present your claim and probably, you know, depending on whether you're white or not, that's how she makes her decision. Ooh, an Afrikaner from South Africa, whose family was viciously murdered by a bunch of psychos screaming, "Kill the Boer." Denied.
Apparently Alabama John's over on Kick also, is usually in my Rumble chat. But Alabama John said he wants to talk to you right now. He's also live on Kick. Come over when you can. And that was posted by Nick J. Fuentes. And I don't think that's the real Nick J. Fuentes.
Random gang member from Guatemala? Oh yes, right on in, Mr. Victim. You are now un-American. Clearly this was a judge that was handing asylum like candy at Halloween. And so yeah, it's yet another example to show you just how truly insane this stuff is. I mean, think about it. The national average for asylum denials is around 58%, meaning 58, nearly 60% of asylum claims are rejected. And this number is already high. Yet this judge had an average of 97%, just greenlighting pretty much every single case. I mean, that's near unanimous. Just flooding the country with potentially bogus claimants who are draining resources and undermining America's borders. And I regret to inform you, you know, like I've been saying with a lot of these stories, this just scratches the surface. It's actually probably so much worse than this. It's probably so much more widespread than you might think.
Oh, it's always
worse. It's not just an instance of one bad apple. No, I think finally people are starting to realize the systemic rot of leftist ideology.
It's all
basically infiltrated every institution of governance. It actually reminds me of that town hall.
And they were put there on purpose, not by the Democrats themselves. It's by the people who control the world that want everything to be shit. So they put in these systems that allow Democrats to win all the time. So they can just help destroy the world and gain power.
Video. I think we covered this roughly a month, maybe 2 months ago. Remember that bombshell undercover footage that I believe came out of Ohio, if I'm not mistaken? There was a woman caught on video who was saying that one of her friends was an immigration judge and she could be bought for $50,000 to approve any claim of asylum. They engage in the fraud, make up the asylum case, and then boom, pay $50K, and there you have it. You're a refugee.
Yeah, this boy there, and that day, you work that day? You say, yeah. You say, okay. $50,000. I send everybody. See all these names? Yeah. I have them in my book. I go to the bar like everybody should. Spot the judge. I say, you work on this date? You like, let me see my art calendar. You go in his phone. Yeah? What's your problem? I said, I got all these boys, man. Want to let them back here? Because they work for me. All right, you better give me 50G, baby.
50G, baby!
You know they pay a bill just like me.
How does the judge get paid, dog?
We have this deadline. We need $50,000. And then the list me look, count them down, calculate it. You give me this, you give me this, gotta make the money. We have 40 million.
Yeah, man, I agree. You gotta do anything you can to make that money. Anything you can.
So everybody gotta pay $1,200. I don't do nothing where I'm gonna look behind my back if I'm gonna go to jail right now. I do legit things.
So when you send the money to, say, the judge, that's...
And if I can't get the legit things done, I talk to somebody who makes it illegal to do the illegitimate things to do legit things.
It's legit.
Yes, you has to have a lawyer. We can go to the judge because you know that's the one who talk to the judge is the liar. You get the lawyer and you say, okay, we have this sheet of paper. I need you to ask the judge how much to carry these people 3 more years in this country for me to get this project done. And you say, okay, give me $50,000.
You send the $50,000 to the lawyer.
Yes, $50,000 going to split up between everybody. You see this judge right here?
Which one?
And one of these judges, see if you want to talk to none of them, you don't want to talk to one judge.
So everybody's in on it because they're making thousands. Holy shit, dude. This is everywhere. This is not just here. Why wouldn't it be everywhere?
Which one do I want to talk to?
One person. Any one of them, just get one judge. All of them talk.
Well, obviously there has to be some sort of a connection here. Maybe not directly, but it does certainly seem to be a similar kind of pipeline. They're possibly selling asylum claims, or maybe some of these judges are clearly just acting as subversive globalist forces, flooding the nation with people in an effort to replace the Native American.
It's the globalists! The international retards!
Population, anything to make the country
they
more
babies.
Diverse, right? It's absolute insanity, and it's very clearly a left-wing problem. From the immigration courts to lower courts, all the way to the Supreme Court. These are the problems
It's all
that we're
of them.
seeing everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just total left-wing infiltration.
And a lot of the problem is, like, they don't want to do it starting out. Maybe even they start out as activists, but then they realize that you have to do a lot of this stuff because that's what it's all about. That's what the job entails. And then they just start to like it because they're like, oh, well, if this is what it's all about, I'm making so much money. Holy shit. And everybody's doing it. I'm not going to go to jail for it because they're making it legitimate. Plus, there's so many people doing it that it don't even matter.
And these judges aren't impartial arbiters. They're activists in robes and sometimes just straight up corrupt actors, willing to corrupt the process of justice for small, measly bribes. You know, some of them are just criminals and the others, frankly, are freaking idiots because they've convinced themselves that they're doing the right thing, right? They're doing what's compassionate and what's right. Ooh, my peoples, let's save the world's poor. But really,
a racist system is allowing people not to come in. There's a fucking reason for that.
you're just a pawn. You're a useful idiot being used to push a globalist agenda. You're not saving anyone, but you are causing a whole lot of damage, costing American...
It's the interdimensional vampires.
...taxpayers billions of dollars, continuing to propagate all the downward pressure on wages, the pressure on welfare and healthcare. You're not saving the world, you're simply damaging your country. And now actually speaking to what I was saying earlier when I said it's so much worse than you think, well, it actually goes beyond just this one case. And actually, interestingly enough, I'm surprised that we haven't seen more reporting on this, but apparently this judge isn't even the first. From what I'm reading, the Trump administration...
I wonder why we're not seeing reporting on this from either the left nor the right. Neither the left nor the right. Proper English.
Has actually been doing this quietly for a while now, actually identifying these rogue judges and their supposed work. From what we understand, the Trump DOJ has already fired over 100 asylum judges that had extremely high approval rates, far exceeding the national average. I got the list right over here, and I'd like to also preface this data by saying that
when a bunch of politicians have high approval rates for judges, that's not good. I think it's a lot better if all of the politicians hate a particular judge.
Most of these judges are in San Francisco and New York.
How about
pretty
that?
Much tells you all that you need to know. But look at the numbers. You got judges with over 80-90% approval on asylum
That's
claims.
insane.
That is completely insane.
Yeah, you can't have that. That's not real. There's no way that 90% of the claims are actually going through as real people. Like, they're letting in criminals because they're letting in anybody and everybody because they're taking a paycheck. They don't care. Like, oh shit, this person's a criminal. We don't know anything about them. $50,000 though. $50,000, that's a lot of money. I think I can turn a blind eye to this.
there is no way they were assigned that many people that had valid claims. They're simply running illegal immigration mills, and clearly something has to be done here. There's got to be some sort of regulation, a system put in place where anytime a judge is clocking an above average rate of asylum, it should instantly flag the system and be fully reviewed. All their cases should be revisited, and if it's found that this person was granting claims illegitimately, well then, said person should be removed. Enough is enough.
Arrested.
People want justice to be administered. They want courts, they want the justice system to be impartial. People
make it a long and harsh sentence. That'll really get people to stop doing it. Put them away for like 5-10 years.
Want an end to the left-wing politicization. Anyways, that's what I got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, man, I think they should go to prison. 5-10 years. That great deterrent. If they do it again, obviously, of 20 years. Fuck them. Fuck them. Don't allow them to have any kind of regular job. Like they are only allowed to work fast food or some shit. I don't even want them working my fast food. Have them stamping license plates for the rest of their fucking lives. Alright, let's find something else. Cops discovered 13-year-old trapped with child predator. Holy shit, man. Pirate Software tried to get me fired. Holy shit, what?
Not a fan of that. It's one of those things that I've been trying to fight my entire career. It's one of the things that I've had to argue with people in chat about. It's one of the things that we ban people for here. Anytime
calling you out for being wrong, that's usually how that goes.
People say shit like that because it's deeply disrespectful and it completely overwrites any of the things that I've done throughout my career as something that is somebody else's success, which they have not been in any possible respect. What do you say? In the thing, he said it was he called me a nepo baby in his article.
Oh,
no, that's dog shit behavior. Really gross.
Oh, he called you a nepo baby? Oh, won't you cry about it? Won't you cry?
All right. Hello, Internet. My name is Stephen A. Sarch, and
hello, Stephen.
I have been a digital culture journalist for the past decade. I've written at Newsweek, Business Insider, Complex, and more notably today, Mashable. I have basically spent my past decade in
I only know about
digital
Newsweek.
culture journalism space, and I've finally made the decision to move over to YouTube and start posting here where people actually care. For years, people have been ripping off my content and making money off of it. So I've decided that maybe I should make some of that money myself. And when thinking over what story I kind of wanted to talk about for my first one, there was one creator that I had a very weird experience with that has basically like entrenched it.
Everybody who has had an experience with Pirate Software says it was a weird experience, except Asmongold, but I think he's just kind of not trying to cause problems. I think he's just trying to be the good guy because he's like the biggest streamer.
Itself in my lore.
Dog shit behavior.
It was just a story that ended up snowballing its way out of control out of a very controversial creator that I think people just kind of want to know about. So I thought for my first YouTube video,
controversial because he's an idiot and he's a liar and he's a nepo baby.
I should talk about my experience with Pirate Software and how he tried to get me fired. So we have to go back to 2024. I was a freelancer for the past few years, and I got invited to a convention called Open Sauce. Now, Open Sauce is an absolutely amazing convention, started by William Osman, who basically created the modern weird DIY trend that we see today. I brought out my now fiance, and we just saw everything that Open Sauce had to offer, from robotic tables that walked on their own, to Furbies with 4 different legs, to a toilet that when you sat on it, it would either be really happy that you're pooping on it or very sad that you were doing it.
Get away from me! What are you doing? Wait, no, stop, turn it around.
So when I got that invite, I was super duper excited. And I was reached out to by this PR woman, let's call her Jay, who's representing OpenSauce, and invited me to moderate a panel. I've done some panel moderation in the past, but for the most part, it's not really my thing. I'm a little neurotic, a little scared, you know, being in front of that many people that really cared. But when someone invites me to do a panel, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to do it. The panel consisted of Pirate Software, Code Bullet, Luke Muscat, and Jabrils. I had seen...
I don't know who any of those people are except Pirate Software.
Some of Code Bullet in the past, but the name that obviously attracted me was Pirate Software.
Right.
Now, over the past, the 6 months prior to OpenSauce was Pirate Software, Jason Thor's ascent into YouTube superstardom. He had kind of used the same technique that Andrew Tate did.
He manipulated the early algorithm. He was big enough to do that, but small enough that it exploded him. Like, that it was so easy to see. I wish that I would have done it, because I knew how to manipulate the algorithm, but I wasn't on YouTube at the point. And I think that if I would have done that at that point, what I'm doing now, if I would have been doing that back then, what he was doing, I probably would have exploded. But unfortunately now YouTube has completely killed my fucking channel. All the other platforms are doing great. I'm still posting to YouTube, but like, yeah, they've completely killed my channel. I used to get thousands of views on every video, and now I'm not even breaking 10 on most of them. It's fucking insane how bad it is. And all the other platforms, I'm getting thousands of views, man.
Where he would flood the market with shorts that YouTube was kind of prioritizing, and his channel blew up. He gained millions of subs. He became well known. He was doing deals with Ludwig. He went from a relative...
Now the shorts that get prioritized are AI slop and obvious shorts that are meant to drive a lot of views that I just don't want my content to be. I know how I could, like, make a whole bunch of money, but I don't want to do that. This is my hobby. I'm not trying to make this a job. I don't want to make content that's fake, you know? I want to make content that I feel like making. And that, where you just, like, redo people's videos, just make your own version of it. Usually it's, like, history and stuff like that. I'm just not into that. I might start doing history videos, like little history videos, make shorts out of them. That might be a thing that I could try out, but usually that's not what I see.
Relatively unknown game designer into one of the most successful gaming YouTubers that we've had on the entire platform. So obviously, I wanted to chat with him. And the panel itself went great. We first met up. You know, I talked with all of these creators. They were all so kind. I have nothing but great things to say about it. Code Bullet is like become one of my favorite creators. He's so good at what he does. So I went to OpenSauce with the intent of finding an article to pitch and then get published. I had a few editors who were interested in stories, but I knew you basically have to get the interview first before you can sell it. So after I did the panel, I approached Jason Thor Hall, Pirate Software, and I asked him, hey, would you be down for an interview? And he is more than happy. He is super down to talk about whatever. And I remember we sit on this couch and we start talking. Now, I know a lot of people think that Pirate Software's like deep, angsty voice is something that he kind of like makes up for the camera. But I will say when talking to him in person, he just talks like that. That's just who he seems to be. Could that be a persona from his EVE Online furry days? Sure, that's possible, but I don't think that's what I experienced. Like, during the conversation...
Man, did I talk with this thing muted through that whole fucking thing? That whole rant that I just did? Holy shit. I hope not. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I guess I'll find out later. But what was I saying? I lost it.
I'm sure that's possible, but I don't think that's what
Oh,
I
yeah, his
experienced.
voice. Yeah, I think he changes his voice. But I think it's like, I don't think the high voice is his normal voice. I think he just kind of, you know, sometimes he just gets into a different voice, you know. Sometimes I'll have a higher voice when I'm talking, whenever I'm like really excited, and I'll, you know, or if I'm just, you know, just chilling and I'll just bring it down. I think he just is like that, but I think he does it on purpose. I think he does a lot of his voice change to be attractive.
In the conversation, I'm giggling because he's a charming guy.
Were you a ferret guy?
No, I've lived in California. They're illegal here, so I was like, when I moved to Washington, I was like, I'm getting ferret.
We talk about his ferrets that he's helping out, how his channel blew up, how he first got into contact with Ludwig. He is basically like
jelly.
Oh yeah, this is why he has blown up to the way he does. He is so good at talking and so good at chatting. The whole thing kind of starts off with him saying something interesting.
All right, if I could just get your name and channel for the recording.
Sure. My name is Thor, and my channel is Find Yourself.
And I know you spieled up there, but you mind just giving me a little how you got into the game development space?
Yeah, so I actually started when I was 16. I got my first job from nepotism, which is not the way you want it to be. So my dad worked at Blizzard. I ended up going to Blizzard, worked as a game tester, and I was shit at it.
Nepo, baby! He got a job at Blizzard because his dad worked at Blizzard. Nepo, baby!
Yes, completely awful. And I realized how awful I was, so after my 6 months doing that, I left. I went freelance for 5 years.
Yeah. Did you hear that? He says that he got his first job through nepotism. Now, that'll come up really important later. I end up getting the article approved at Mashable, a website I've written for a few times in the past. They told me they wanted something uncontroversial, something simple, because there really wasn't an article about pirate software. There was very little information about pirate software during his ascent. I found it difficult to find articles and find information about him outside of the world. But, you know, I persisted. I did what I could. I get the article approved, it goes through Mashable, and everything's okay. I send the article in, and my editor, who is a very close friend of mine, flags, you know, in the first few paragraphs or so, I mentioned that Pirate Software is a Nepo baby. That his dad got him his first job at Blizzard.
Yeah.
And because
Nepo
of that,
baby.
he was able to start his career and then eventually go back to Blizzard and do all of these other things.
Yep.
And so Mashable.com, when they made this article...
And he used that directly to launch his career on YouTube and Twitch. That's what his shorts were about, was him working at Blizzard. That's why he blew up.
About Pirate Software, titled How Streamer Pirate Software Gained Nearly 2 million subs in 6 months. They just had to mention the fact that he's a Nepo baby, saying when he was 16, he landed a dream job as a game tester at Blizzard Entertainment, which, before the bloated loot boxes and corporate acquisition by Microsoft for $68.7 billion, was considered one of the most respected companies in the video game industry. It helped that he was a Nepo baby, since his dad, Joey Ray Hall, had spent over 2 decades at the industry titan since almost the very beginning. Now, of course, after 6 months, he would leave because he felt that the corporate life wasn't for him, and many years later would reapply by himself without the help of his dad, landing a QA role, which I believe, because if he had the help of his dad, no way he would end up in an entry-level position.
I didn't even know about the first time he worked at Blizzard. So he made it seem like, no, I got a job at Blizzard by myself with no help, and other people vouched for that. But he worked there for 6 months before that, where his dad got him the job. Why is this the first time I'm hearing this? Maybe I have heard it before and I just forgot.
And Nepo baby, I have learned since, has a very negative connotation to it. For every Jack Quaid that manages to take his familial success and turn it into a career that isn't just ripping off their family's legacy, you get a bunch of Kardashians
I like that guy too.
Basically are just using their name to get as far as they can without really accomplishing much in the world. I just thought it was a good term to describe Pirate Software. I didn't expect it to blow up into what it eventually happened. The article comes out on July 9th, 2024. And I'm not thinking much of it. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm happy with it. The intro picture's really nice. All of it's really cool. But a few hours after it comes out, I start getting really weird messages. They're saying, how dare I say that about Pirate Software? I'm gonna get canceled.
No! You crossed Pirate Software's community! You can't do that!
Journalism is over.
Don't you know he's got a community?
Editor messages me. Oh no, what is happening? She starts getting sent stuff because I mentioned her in the original tweet. And I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? And I get sent this clip from Pirate Software's stream where he is so pissed off at the article. I don't know what to do. Because on one hand, he is...
See, this is why people like the right-wing streamers way more. Because Asmongold, when he goes on stream to read articles that are shitting all over him, he makes fun of them. He doesn't get mad. That's why people watch Asmongold. That's why he's the top streamer, because he doesn't get mad. Dude, fucking cry more.
100% a Nepo baby. He got his first job through his dad's connections at Blizzard.
But that's not all. His dad was Joey Ray Hall. This picture right here is of 10 people. And if you don't know who they are, these people happen to be the original founders of Blizzard Entertainment. Yes, these guys are legends in every sense of the word. And the guy in the middle is none other than Jason Thorhall's father.
And that's fine. There is nothing wrong with being a Nepo baby. Let me make that clear. Being a Nepo baby is fine. You know, as long as you're able to use your skills.
85% of the time, it's not fine.
And move past the, you know, sticky stigma that exists along with it, you'll be okay. But to me, it kind of seemed like Pirate Software had a bit of a chip on his shoulder and was a bit upset when people would call him out for it. And me calling him out Nepo baby and basically the only article that existed about him really seemed to piss him off.
But still,
if he would just play into it. He doesn't even have to believe it himself. Just play into it as a joke. And nobody would care. It's so easy to fucking see how to handle these situations. Just don't get mad. Don't cry about it. Holy shit, dude. Fucking pathetic. That's why these people get known as lolcows, because they cry about absolutely everything. Oh, I saw an article that I didn't like. It called me a word that I am, but I don't like to be called. So I'm gonna send my community after him. That's the way of the deranged leftists.
Just them including this sentence, calling him a Nepo baby, truly triggered him beyond belief. I mean, look at what he had to say.
Yeah, really not a fan of that. Not a fan.
Later that night, I get a text message from Jay, the PR woman from OpenSauce, who basically tells me on a call that Pirate Software wants me banned from OpenSauce, and he wants me to issue an apology while removing Nepo Baby from the article. Immediately, I'm like, I don't know, but I want the harassment to end. I want all of these people who are screaming in my mentions that I'm a terrible journalist and that I'm going to be out of a job, and how dare I say it, because Pirate Software still had a...
When you got a bunch of deranged leftists coming into your chat and into your comments, telling you how terrible a journalist you are, you're probably doing something right. Keep up with that energy. You're going somewhere. You're going places.
Huge fan base at that point, and they wanted me canceled. They wanted me done. But I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to make the voices stop. I wanted to make the hate stop. Eventually I decide, after talking to my editor and, you know, thinking over quite a bit, that we weren't wrong. You know, Pirate Software was using the hatred.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. You're not wrong. He's wrong, but he doesn't care. He thinks he's right. So he's gonna hate you, and he's gonna use that hatred, and he's gonna let it all out to his audience, and then they're gonna attack you. That's how it goes.
That gamers have for journalists to fuel his own ego and get Nepo Baby removed from the article. Like games journalists, you know, since the dawn of Gamergate, games journalists are seen as bad. I wasn't really covering games, I was more just being a journalist, but it didn't matter.
You can't do
I was
that.
Still part of that stigma.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do real journalism. That's not allowed.
And he was using that anger and vitriol against me, and there was nothing I could really do other than get the article changed and take out Nepo Baby and issue an apology and bend the knee. But as a journalist, you really have to hold truth to power. You have to make sure that when bullies try to send mean things to you, and they try to use their audiences to sway coverage in ways that make them feel better, you don't bend the knee. You don't fall into what they want.
Yeah.
So after, you know, a bunch of
'Cause it gets
conversations
worse.
with my editor in the article and everything that happened,
Whenever you give these people an inch, they take a mile. If they think that they can get something changed, they'll get other things changed. If they think that their tactics work, they'll keep using them.
decided, no way in hell, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna change the article. And he was still very pissed, you know? For months after, every time he would show up, I'd be terrified that he would come back and come for me, that I'd get another wave of harassment, that I would just kind of be screwed in the grand scheme of things. But eventually he died down. He had wave after wave of cancellation. I'm not gonna lie, when he got semi-canceled for how he responded in his World of Warcraft guild, I felt a little giddy. I definitely jumped on a live stream and kind of talked about my experience. In the story, I called him a Nepo Baby.
As you should. That's funny.
I stand by the fact that
He's a Nepo Baby? Yeah.
He got his first job at Blizzard because of his dad. Qualifies as
Can't
a
say
Nepo
that.
Baby, in my opinion. And he didn't like that, so he read it on stream,
No.
said my story was
You can't do things that Pirate Software doesn't like. Did you know that he is the king of stream?
full of factual inaccuracies, and sent his fan base after me and made my social media hell for a week.
Well, that's interesting.
As a digital culture journalist, it can be hard.
Also, this guy's kind of a pussy, because, like, if a bunch of people were coming in my comments to hate, I'm gonna jump right back in there, and I'm making fun of all of them. I don't give a shit, and I ain't gonna get mad. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna eat up that attention, and they're gonna fucking hate me.
To cover creators. Creators don't really like when people talk about them. They want to have
I do. I want somebody to talk about me. I don't give a shit if it's bad.
coverage because that's how they get verified on social media accounts. But for the most part, they kind of hate having that animosity and that like lens put on them. You know, Clavicular can get a New York Times profile, but the average influencer really doesn't talk with journalists. So eventually we agreed to do one small edit on the article, changing one of the years on the Kickstarter. But the article itself still stands. If you want to look up, I will link it in the description, because I think people should kind of see what happens, you know? And in general, what did I kind of learn from this experience? I know
that corporations will side with creators because money.
No longer let creators bully me around. If
Fuck 'em.
I am receiving massive waves of harassment, like when I wrote about Mr. Beast and the Beast games having unsafe workplace conditions, and I'm getting hatred from all of his fans, I just kind of have to accept it for what it is. I'm not going to bow to...
Yeah, they're just doing that because they are bored. And if you keep allowing them to be bored, or, you know, they can't win, then they'll leave. Because whenever they can't win, they just go to insults. And if the insults don't work, then they go to violence. But if they can't be violent towards you, then they just fucking leave. Happens every time, man.
to them.
That's how you handle
I'm
it.
going to change the way I do things because of the harassment I receive online. Though that can be hard and very difficult, it's something that I really care about. I guess what I want everyone to know is that when you talk to creators, they are not infallible. They are just regular people who are upset when you call them Nepo Baby if they really hate it. But yeah, that's my Pirate Software story. This is my first video. I'd really love, feedback. Tell me what you hate, what you like. Is my camera good? Give me some feedback.
It was pretty good.
Keep doing this. I think YouTube.
I don't really like his voice. You know, he kind of sounds like a guy I'd go to church with. He's kind of got this kind of voice where he's kind of like talking with the front of his mouth, you know, instead of talking with his throat. Man, I don't even know how like you get into that. You get into this habit of talking with the front of your mouth with your tongue and your lips up here. Because, like, I have to talk with my throat, dude. Maybe that's just because that's how I learned how to speak, and that's what's comfortable to me. Anyway, that's good video. I'll give it a like and a subscribe. Especially you're gonna shit on Pirate Software. Fuck that guy. Okay. Let's go see what's on X. Actually, let me do this. I'm gonna jump out of Terraria. I'm gonna go to X, see what's on X. Gotta be something cool, right? Anything? A bunch of new videos out of Mexico. Holy shit, you got full ass businesses on fire. Was that grocery store or is that Costco? I see an O.
Given by myself and the First Lady to
what is this?
Prime Minister and the First Lady of Israel, and it's a key. We call it a key to the White House, and it's a key to our country and to our hearts. Given by my
is the key to our country and to our hearts. Not a key to my heart. Fuck this guy. Violent piece of shit. Like, this guy is a fucking mass murderer. What are you talking about? And don't forget about what he said in the 90s. How he said that they're gonna pull apart the United States and take it over and then sell it piece by piece until there's nothing left. And then it'll restart itself. Then they can do it again. And they can keep doing that over and over again. Literally what Netanyahu said. Actually, let me go over to my profile. There's a few things that I want to show you. Probably all of these. Not that. Where does it start? Oh boy, this is fucking insane. This was on the Kardashians TV show.
A human.
What?
Yes, that's the disgusting part.
Oh my god. I'm gonna put it in the oven just to make sure I kill any bacteria that's in there.
Ugh. Am I the best sous chef you've ever had?
Rock and roll. Open me up.
Placenta coming in. Is there gonna be one delicious meal?
Please do it. Placenta?
Placenta. Hi.
So what are we having for dinner?
We're having some tasty protein. This is gonna be a divine meal. We've all awaited. Can I see it? Good, there's so much flavor on its own.
Should we put some of this yummy sauce on top too?
Yeah. Here, guys.
That looks
This is the
fucked up,
grand
dude.
finale.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Is it a brisket? Yeah.
Cut you guys a piece?
Oh, it's nice and tender. That knife just melts right through.
Please let me have the first taste.
A human.
Their faces, dude. This is absolutely evil. Like, I don't care how it was sourced. That's still people. And that pretty much proves that, yeah, celebrities, they eat people. So this is how China is covering the whole Epstein situation.
This is how China is reporting on the Epstein files. Please watch this video.
So the Epstein files are out, millions of pages, thousands of videos, an order from Congress. And what have we learned? Well, Democrats accuse the Attorney General of a cover-up. The Attorney General calls a senior congressman a washed-up loser lawyer. Victims sit in the room watching their accusers' names blacked out while their own names, their photographs, their suffering are leaked to the public. Welcome to accountability, Western style. For years, the Western elites, the Western men, have stood on what they call the moral high ground. They lecture other countries on human rights, on fair courts, on the worst
Not
of
wrong.
every person. They send diplomats to lecture former colonies about the rule of law as if
This is what everybody is thinking about America right now.
that law were a custom-made suit only for a rich man. Files have become
True.
a political punching bag. The Trump camp makes it about the Clintons. The Democrats make it about the Republicans. The Attorney General accuses the committee of drama, and the committee accuses the Attorney General of running a cover-up. Meanwhile, the law Congress passes clearly states that names cannot be blacked out just to avoid embarrassment, harm to reputation, or political discomfort.
I'm not hearing anything untrue so far.
So, how did the Department of Justice manage to black out the powerful and expose the victims? So here's the uncomfortable truth the West does not want to face. The Epstein archive is not just one file on one criminal. It is a CT scan of the whole system.
True.
The courts, the banks, the politicians, even some academic institutions.
Most.
Not evil in some movie sense, silent partners in real world sense.
More evil than you could actually write in movies. My evidence of that is Eyes Wide Shut. They completely changed that movie because it was actually going to depict what they were doing. And they didn't want that out.
Silent through doing nothing, through convenient forgetfulness, through the quiet belief that some men are too powerful to ever be brought down. And yet these same institutions continue to grade the rest of the world on
He hasn't mentioned Israel yet.
human rights, continue to issue report cards on judicial reform, continue to act as if they're the world's moral judge. The lease on that high ground has run out. It ran out in Florida courthouse in 2008. It ran out on the private Caribbean island with the Harvard professor as a guest. It ran out this month on the live television when a victim had to watch her abuser's name being blacked out while her own name staying in plain sight. The Western elites wanted to be judged by their good intentions. Unfortunately for them, the Epstein files contain only the facts.
And who says all communist policies are bad?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything untrue in that. Except for, actually, I think you need to look at what Israel says about the United States. They pretty much say that they're behind everything with the United States. They're the reason that America is even existing right now. So you need to start talking about them too. And I've got the proof right here.
Fighting today, the battle that the Maccabees fought. They fought for the survival of the Jewish people and the Jewish faith against an enemy that wanted to extinguish us, wipe us out from the face of the earth. We were fighting our battle, but we were also fighting the battle of civilization, because our civilization is based on the Judeo-Christian tradition. And if the Maccabees had failed, there'd be no Judaism, there would be no Judeo-Christian civilization. There would be no Maccabees.
Well, actually, if you were the people of God and God is on your side, then you will never fail. So what the fuck are you talking about, unless you just actually don't believe it? I wonder.
There would be no
I wonder. Synagogue of Satan?
United States, there wouldn't be the civilization of freedom, the respect for our common traditions, our common values. All of that would not happen if it weren't for those 5 brave brothers. They actually made the whole difference. So that spirit animates these brave soldiers that are here today and their comrades who are fighting in Gaza or in Lebanon or in Iran, wherever it's necessary to not only preserve the Jewish nation and the Jewish state, but preserve civilization against the barbarians. The barbarians are out there. They did a horrible thing to us on October 7th. They'll never do it again. But they're doing it against Jews in Sydney and Jews elsewhere in America and elsewhere. This is our common battle against the barbarians.
What does Jews in America have to do with Israel? Other than they're Jews. What do they have to do with Israel? I wonder. Because like with the United States, we're doing some stuff to help Christians in other countries, but we're not like adamant about like, we're going to go after you if you go after Christians. But Israel seems to be like that about Jews all over the world in countries that they're not supposed to have their fingers in. We're supposed to be allies. They're not supposed to be having their fingers in America, actively punishing Americans. Speaking of that, let's scroll back down. I've got some right here. Tucker Carlson. I don't really like Tucker Carlson, but this is crazy.
Really pushed hard for this meeting, and I called a lot of people who know him and who are in regular contact with him. In fact, I went to go see some of those people directly. Please, can you help me get a sit down for 5 minutes with Benjamin Netanyahu? And I probably called or met with 6, 7, 8, maybe more people.
He said 6, 7.
People in official capacities, people in the Israeli government. I know a number of people in the Israeli government, people in Israel. A friend of mine in California who knows him. I mean, I really, really tried. And I did so for 2 reasons. One, because there was a threat to my family. The Israeli government and Netanyahu himself tried to punish 2 members of my family. I won't be more specific, but
should not be allowed.
2 members of my family because
we're not a serious country for letting shit like this happen. And I've heard this from more than just Tucker Carlson. I'm just using him as the example because he's the most famous example.
As he has said in public many times, believes in blood guilt. Amalek.
Amalek.
When someone commits a crime against you, you punish not just him, but his family, his bloodline. There's no idea that's less Western than that, more anti-Christian than that. Christians reject that.
Yes, true.
Netanyahu doesn't. That's why he's talking about Amalek. And
yep. That's some North Korea-ass bullshit right there.
He was going after my family, literally. So I felt very threatened by that. But moreover, I think it's bad for my country.
It is, very.
People using that kind of language. Round them up, bring them to the camps, gas chambers, Nazis, anti-Semitism. It scares the heck out of people. It makes people crazy and hysterical. And
that's why they do it.
None of that is true. I hate collective punishment. I hate attacking people on the basis of their bloodline. I hate anti-Semitism and anti-white racism and all of this, or any kind of racism, period. And I've said that a lot. So using that kind of language against someone who is not fundamentally your enemy, who just, in my case, I want Christians in areas controlled by Israel to be treated with dignity, to have rights, and I don't want the U.S. government involved in a war, a regime change war with Iran. Those are
true.
My priorities, and I've said them out loud. I have no secret agenda.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Yeah, we need to not be hanging out with Israel. Israel is not good. Oh, this is an insane situation right here. You can see the exact moment the State Department spokesperson's soul exits his body.
Recently come to light an exchange between Jeffrey Leeds and former Secretary of State Colin Powell, in which he acknowledges that Israel has, quote, he says 200 nuclear weapons. And the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty has not been signed by Israel. Under U.S. law, the United States should cut off support to Israel because it's a nuclear power that has not signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, according to Colin Powell, correct?
Shouldn't you ask Colin Powell that? I'm not going to speak to this particular traffic, and
it's an intelligence issue.
I'm certainly
So
not
you're saying
going to
Israel
discuss.
doesn't have nuclear weapons?
I'm certainly not going to discuss matters of intelligence from the podium. I'm not. I have no comment on
It's
that.
bullshit.
Well, the email says the boys in Tehran know Israel has 200. All we targeted on Tehran, and we have thousands. I mean, that seems to indicate that there's a knowledge of an Israeli nuclear program, which would make U.S. aid to Israel illegal.
True.
I think I've answered your question.
Okay, well, let me ask.
He did. No, he 1000% answered the question perfectly clearly, which usually doesn't happen. He gave a flat out, I'm not going to answer that. If the answer was no, we're not doing that, that's not happening, then he would have said that.
Is that, do I have the correct understanding of U.S. law that we are not allowed to support a nuclear power that has not signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty?
Look, we obviously support the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. I'm not a legal expert on all the tenets of it, and
We support it unless it's for a situation that's inconvenient.
I'm certainly not going to speak about the details that you've revealed here in this email traffic. That would be inappropriate for me to discuss one way or the other. I'm not going to do it.
There are sanctions imposed on North Korea in response to their nuclear proliferation. There were sanctions put on Iran in response to allegations of nuclear proliferation. And now we have this email from Colin Powell saying that Israel has 200 nuclear weapons. Why is Israel not facing any consequence for this?
It's a very colorful way of getting back to the same question you just asked me. But I'm going to refer you back to the transcript when you see it this afternoon to what I said before to your question. Saeed?
You're familiar with this email, right?
I'm not.
Oh.
I have not seen it. I can't speak to the email.
He knows. He knows exactly what the fuck is going on. I fucking hate these people in the government. I don't give a shit if it's a national security issue. I don't give a shit if it's an intelligence issue. If we're gonna hold up these rules, we gotta fucking follow them.
And frankly, even if I'd seen it, sir, I wouldn't engage in that.
If we're gonna allow Israel to have nukes, Iran gets nukes. End of the fucking story. I'm not even gonna play this Sean Strickland video, but you know what? Fuck it. Fuck YouTube. I'm gonna play it. So Sean Strickland got cut off when he went on a awesome rant.
Dude, you're out here looking like a gay ass pirate, Dan Hooker semen in your asshole. Who wants to see fucking two little go fuckers go at it? You want to see a real fucking American fight this little Chechnyan fucking whore in American soil?
I don't think you're going to get on the White House card.
Maybe I got to go ahead.
You can't say those things, Sean Strickland. That's racist.
About Epstein or some shit. Dude, I guarantee fucking Shemaiah would go to a fucking island. That motherfucker's going all day long.
Damn.
Motherfucker. You got one Pierce earring, dude. Don't act like you're a classy guy, you dirty fuck. Let me tell you about this little bitch. We're going to ask some stupid questions. Go. Come on, Amy. Let's talk about the gays. Let's talk about the trans. Come on, Amy. Let's get fucking Paramount to call me and bitch at me. Nah, it's okay. I'll make fun of gays every chance I get, guys. Don't worry about that. I'm not gonna. I support your lifestyle.
Well, I'm not gay.
You're not gay, seriously? No, hey, don't you laugh, dude. You Navy veteran. Hey, you're in the Navy.
No,
relax.
Dude.
We know.
He doesn't fucking stop.
Is there anybody that's 35 around here? Anybody close to 35 years old? Can you picture being 35 years old and meeting a sweet little 14-year-old Aspen lad and saying, I'm going to marry her when she turns 18.
That's disgusting.
That's what fucking Jim West did.
What the fuck, dude? Who's Jim West? I don't know who that is. I think it's kind of gross for me as a 30-year-old man to date like a 22-year-old, let alone fucking 14 to 18.
Who's really, like, entertaining? You got Chimaev, the fucking go-fucker.
Oh,
that's a wrap. Anyways.
Yep, there it went. They cut him off right there. There we go. Perfect timing, too. Fuck yeah. Sean Strickland needs to be protected at all costs. This is an absolutely ridiculous situation. I've been talking about Imaru the past few days. Shuon had released a video about Imaru, and I don't like Imaru. But I think I don't like her because she's fucking stupid and boring, and I don't understand how she's even famous other than the fact that she's really hot and Asian. But, like, dude, she is too dumb to exist.
You got this, guys. Here.
NMP.
Don't get. Papers out the fire!
Oh!
Not the grease.
And just
Take
throws
it
it in there.
out, take it
Oh
out.
no.
I don't know what to do.
Just stands there frozen.
Take it outside. Take it outside.
Wait, this is actually bad.
It's gonna take. Yes, take it out.
Oh wait. Oh, this is actually bad. She
Use the
says.
pliers. The things.
What the fuck? I don't know what this is.
Don't use water on oil.
Don't use water.
Wait, don't we have like a shirt? Take off your
NMP
shirt.
at least is smart enough to not use water on a fucking oil fire.
Fine. It's fine.
Take it out.
Take off your shirt. No. Okay. Wait, open the door.
I got you.
Take it outside.
Yeah.
The dog's pissed, by the way. Be careful.
The dog knew.
Be careful. Be careful. It's gonna slosh.
No, it's not. Oh my.
Holy.
Dude, nobody knew what the fuck to do. Everybody panicked and froze. NMP did the best, but still, he didn't actually do anything. If it was me in that kitchen in that situation, I would have immediately knew what to do. Actually, I would have probably been like, get that fucking napkin away from this fire. What are you doing, you idiot?
Oh, you got this, guys. Here.
We got this. Almost burns the house down.
Paper's out the fire.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
I can't believe it, man. But I can at the same time. Oh, here's the thing where Netanyahu, whatever the fuck his name is, Yahoo said this about America.
This is word for word, verbatim, from the Jerusalem Post by Benjamin Netanyahu in 1990. If we get caught, they will just replace us with a person from the same cloth. So it doesn't matter what you do. America is a golden calf, and we will suck it dry, chop it up, and sell it off piece by piece until there is nothing left but the world's biggest welfare state that we create and control. Why? Because it's God's will. And America is big enough to take the hit, so we can do it again and again and again. This is what we do to the countries that we hate. We destroy them very slowly, but we make them suffer for refusing to be our slaves. So the man that they've convinced us is supposed to be our greatest ally, in 1990 was quoted saying that he plans to destabilize America and then in the process turn us into a forever welfare state which they control, and we will be their slaves, because that's what he does, and that's what Israelis do and Jews do to the countries that they hate, and they want to make them their slaves. So when I tell you that...
Dude, I just don't. I was on board with Trump until the beginning of this year, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Probably because he just doesn't give a shit anymore. He's just, doing whatever he thinks is best for him and his buddies. Yeah. Let's see what we got going back on YouTube again. Go back to YouTube. Maybe something new will pop up in the feed. Hassan Piker lost his mind. Well, he's already lost that. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream there. I've been going way too long, 40 minutes over the time that I usually go. It's been awesome, man. Don't forget to slap that like button in the face. Stole that line from Jacksepticeye. Subscribe, comment, do all the things. I got stuff in the description. Do that stuff. Awesome. I love you. Get out of my house, you fuck.